It's here. It's big. And it's closer than you think. It's not a tournament. It's what you don't see on TV. The cash is real. The stakes are high. They bet big. They win big. They lose big. High stakes live action poker. Live at the bike. Watch it live on the web. Or play it if you dare. At the Bicycle Casino right here in Los Angeles.
Hello everybody and welcome to Live at the Bike, presented to you by the Bicycle Casino, the first and only webcast of live action cash game poker. My name is Bart Hanson and I am here tonight for the first few hours with Shirley Rosario. How are you doing tonight, Shirley?
I'm doing well.
Shirley, very, very excited about this game. This is the new game that we just spread for the first time yesterday. $300 to $500 no limit. $300 minimum, $500 max buy-in. The blinds are 5 and 5. Small blind is equal to the big blind. And, of course, the yellow chips are $5 chips. And the purple chips are $25 chips. The blue chips are $1 chips. And, again, this game is 2 days old now. And you played this game a little bit yesterday and today, Shirley?
Yeah, I did. I really liked this game.
Well, let's go around and introduce the table.
Okay. Okay, in seat number 1, we have Brandon. Seat number 2, we have Peter. 1 is in seat number 3. Okay. Seat number 4, is that Danny?
Looks like Danny.
Okay. Greg is in seat number 5. Ken is in seat number 6. Seat number 7 is Dawn. Seat number 8 is Song. And seat number 9 is Jacob.
There we go. And for those of you who are unfamiliar how we do seat numbers, when we have our main view head-on the dealer, Greg, in this case.
As it is now.
Seat 1 is to the dealer's right from this angle, or in actuality from the dealer's left in reality. It goes around in a clockwise manner. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and so on till 9. So the guy to the left of the dealer is 9 from this angle.
From this angle, but
right. In reality, it's to his right.
Right.
And we will commonly we will refer to players as seat numbers, just so that new people coming into the game will know exactly who we're talking about.
Right.
We kind of tend to interchange a little bit. A little bit of trick for the viewers out there, too. Sometimes when people throw in the purple $25 chips, they appear to be slightly triangle-ish. That's the way that the camera picks it up. So that's a good way of, figuring out. And, of course, we'll help you along to tell you how much the bet size is, but when you throw a purple out there, it has a different shape than the yellow for some reason. They're actually the same size,
appears.
And they have this the same design.
And normally in the $200 you don't see the $25 chips or the
right.
purple chips, but in this game they do have them, and we will be seeing them and using them tonight.
It makes sense.
Yes.
Now normally people will stack their chips in $25 increments, so $20 chip increments, and so a stack of yellows is 100 and a stack of purples is 500.
Right.
Now it looks like this pot was limped around. Seat 4's got king, queen. He's flopped top 2 pairs. It doesn't look like anyone else. Someone's got a queen there, seat 2. Let's see what seat 4 does here with top 2 pairs. Looks like he got checked around there,
Yeah, everybody checked there.
So he checked his top 2 pairs, perhaps trying to make us
let someone get something.
Trap.
They don't see that unless they show that.
Now he's going to bet 20. And the weak queen is going to call here, $20. Possibly thinking that his queen might be good. And now the river comes 4. Wow, and I'm really surprised that king-queen didn't put another bet in on the river there, Shirley, because I'm sure...
not really necessarily, because...
I'm sure the queen... well, of course, we have the luxury of seeing the cards, but the queen definitely would have called if he's not going to put somebody on betting on top pair on the flop there. Yeah,
but you have to think that maybe the player had an ace there.
Well, possibly.
Possibility.
Well, why would he call the turn bet, though? That's the thing. It was a little bit confusing. But, of course, this is just our opinions, and players will play it all differently. And, this game is probably going to be more like a 500 game in the fact that more moves, deeper chip stacks means that you can finagle the hands.
You can slow play it a little. Bart's not going to
more.
chew you out if you do.
Yeah, but the funny thing about that is that usually in the big game, people who flop trips and sets bet right out. And that's why I always get on the people with 200 game who don't. Because it looks like this pot's going to get chopped around here. Just kind of a common theme that players who are new to the game or aren't necessarily strong players slow play their great hands and tend to overcall with weak hands.
That's
and
true.
It's just, and they miss value bets. Again, this is a new game. So it looks like the guy in seat 2's got 2 racks there, so that's at least 1,000. The guy in seat 1 looks like he's got somewhere around 1,000. Looks like he might have a stack of purple there on the right. So we definitely can see some huge pots here. It's going to play a lot bigger than the $200 game.
Oh yeah.
And I think this game it's about time this game was actually spread, Shirley, because I think
totally agree.
there was a big void between $200 max buy-in and then $500 min.
And making the transition, because I played the 2 all the time, but to jump into the 5 was a bit scary.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's also the fact that our 5-10 game, the unlimited buy-in, was playing bigger than some of the other card houses' 10-20 no-limit game. There was just more chips on the table. So.
Right. Which is always an advantage.
Right. So we got 4-way action here. It's limped around, so it's a $20 pot. Again, the blinds are 5 and 5. Looks like seat number 8 is going to lead with King Queen. He's got overcards. The flop is 8-4 deuce. Rainbow. Seat 1's going to call here with Ace 9 offsuit. Well, that's going to make seat 8's hand even stronger with the King Queen. He had bet 20. And he's going to take it down with a $40 bet now. About a $60 to $80 pot there.
Yeah, and he's going to watch it.
I want to make sure that I see what the hell that was all about.
Again, we've had an automatic shuffler on the table for the last week and a half, 2 weeks.
We're good.
That's a relatively new thing to the Live at the Bike table. Gets us to see a few more hands.
Which is something we have on every other table in the casino.
Yes, we do. We don't have them, obviously, in tournaments, but in every other cash game. And it makes sense, the more hands you're seeing, the casino tends to be able to drop more.
Right.
And it's also better for the players, too.
I agree.
Seat 6 here, who is, looks like Ken. He's going to raise with Ace-Queen offsuit. He's going to raise to 25. He's going to get 3 callers. Seat 1's got Ace-9 suited. And,
which is the same hand he had last hand.
Seat 3 from the button's got looks like a 7-4 of diamonds. And gets checked around here, Shirley. No one caught anything on the flop. And actually 7-4 has the best hand now, and he's going to check it again from the button. 4 comes on the turn. And a jack comes on the river. And C3's going to take it down with a pair of 4s.
Good call, pre-flop.
You always have those commentators on the table as well.
Well, Ken does have a tendency to talk when he's sitting there.
Now, who exactly are you familiar with at the table? I don't know if I've played with a lot of these guys.
I've played with seat 3, Juan, and Ken. I've played probably with Ken in seat 6 the most.
And I played with Greg in seat 5 before, too, in the big game. And I played with him in the 200.
Yeah, I just actually got off a game with him in it.
Looks like he's eating some sort of Vietnamese soup there behind him. And it's funny how we had said that people who eat tend to tighten up, and it's just a natural thing. And it really is true, because you're not paying attention to the game as much. And the small blind does not have to put any extra chips in.
6 players.
Flop is 7-5-4. Seat 8's going to lead with top pair. He's got Ace 7.
25.
And Seat 2 has also got top pair there with a gut shot with 7-8 offsuit, and he's going to call.
Yeah, and he does have the 8 of clubs, which isn't much, but he could come runner club.
Well, the queen's going to queen on the turn, queen of clubs, so now he's got that flush draw. And it looks like it gets checked around here.
It looks like he hit a straight out. It looks like a 6.
And the 6 comes, and that's going to give him the straight. Great example of how position is everything in this game. And he's going to bet $100 here on the end. Slightly over betting the pot.
100.
I don't think he's going to get a call here.
don't think I could call with one pair.
Yeah, I think that was a bit much there because all he needed was an 8 to have a straight, 2 clubs.
Well, to play
A little
devil's
value bet maybe.
To
But
play devil's advocate with you, of course, I like to play hands pretty straightforward, but it can sometimes be a little dangerous with that type of flop with a 7, 5, 4, and 2 clubs, where anyone with a 6 would have an open-end straight try to bet ace-7, because if you get a few callers behind you, you're bound to have an overcard or something that's going to make a hand on the turn, and you have absolutely no idea where you stand.
And you're afraid where you're going to go, yeah.
Bill from California writes, I can stump the ump. My hat size is 7 7/8. Of course. It was that's an email from Bill from California there. I was talking about how I'm an umpire, and anyone who wants to give me questions about baseball rules, I welcome it. And I thought my head was big at 7 5/8, but I guess that guy has me by a quarter
I wasn't
quarter
quite
of an inch.
understanding what that was talking about.
Quarter of an inch. I said I have a big head.
Okay, 3 players.
3-way action. Huh?
Done, right?
Yeah, either one.
Been quiet for
Seat 9's coming in with a limp
I
and
was
deuce 8
going to
offsuit.
say that's interesting move. You know I like the 5-6. I love suited connectors.
30.
Now Ace King is going to lead here with 30. 6-5 has got that second pair. He's got a gut shot straight draw. Looks like he's going to come in for a check raise here. It was a $30 bet by Ace King.
I like that move.
And Ace King's going to lay it down.
So we just got a new chip count. This was a 6 o'clock chip count brought to you by Joker Gaming. Seat number 1, we have $1,500. Seat number 2, we have $1,250. Player in seat 3 has $800. Seat number 4, we have $200. And seat number 5 has $425. Seat 6 has $1,060. Seat number 7 has $500. Seat number 8 has $400. And seat number 9 has $70. You hear Ken in there?
Now, Greg the dealer has said that it looks like seat 9 is live straddling, which of course is doubling the big blind, and you have the option when it comes around. It's a forced, kind of adding another big blind there. It's a forced bet for action when the stacks are deep. So it's $10 to call here.
And he will be the last person to act pre-flop.
Yep. Looks like seat 3 is limiting here with 8-7 offsuit. Seat 5's got a 6-9 suited.
So it's pretty interesting. The player
40 more.
that did straddle has ace king.
And he's going to raise it up to 40 more.
40 more.
And when he said it, it's good to me.
So there was
Let's see if anybody actually believes he has a strong hand.
there was 6-way action. The guy with 7-8 offsuit is folded. The button's going to call here with King-Jack offsuit.
I thought you said you were going to re-raise.
I said it, but he's in the
So the pot already is about $140.
Heads up, I re-raise.
And it's going to be, if this guy calls, it's going to be about 180.
Okay, 3 players.
Seat 8's going to call here with deuce 4 suited. 3-way action, excuse me. $180 pot. Not a bad flop for Ace King if you've got the Ace of Hearts.
That's true.
And he is the original raiser.
And
Look at he's
Ken
going
did hit the exact hand that he needed to hit was a jack.
Well, he's checked. The original raiser out of the big blind is checked, and the button bets. And now the original raiser is going to re-raise all in. He's check raising all in with his Ace of Hearts, and King Jack is going to lay it down.
I knew he was laying that down.
Well, it's tough to call there.
Heck yeah, it is.
Yeah.
But even if he had a queen, he wouldn't call.
Obviously, that's one of the big differences between a limit and a no-limit game there, Shirley. You don't want to commit all your chips there to second pair. And you don't
I
have
agree
a
with
heart.
you. I agree with you. But I've seen him make bigger laydowns than that in the bigger games. When he gets in the higher games and gets really deep, he'll make laydowns that he shouldn't normally make. And I'm not saying that he shouldn't have made the laydown because I totally agree with it this time. But I have seen him lay down like pocket queens before to an all-in bet pre-flop.
Good hand. Good flop.
Check it. Tell me about it. 20. Pot's been raised to 20. Oh, by the way, yeah, you're the blind.
Well, seat 1 here, under the gun, he's raised to 20 with King-Queen offsuit. Seat 6 is going to call with pocket 9s.
Could have saved myself 140. I'm going to pick
It's 20. 15 to call.
Big blind's got Ace-King here. Now, he had re-raised before last hand with Ace-King, and he just smooth calls here.
All right, 3 players.
So pocket 9s is a good favorite here when some of the cards are shared.
Here it is again.
Not with that board.
Well,
It looks very similar to the last time, Queen Jack and suited board.
yeah. And seat 9, he's got the king of spades, and he's going to lead right out with ace king with the king of spades. King queen's got top pair from seat 1. Looks like he's betting $60.
And the ace king doesn't just have the flush draw; he also has the 10 draw there for the straight.
That's right. And
I
overcards.
mean, he can't know if that's good, but we can see that it will be good.
So a bet and a call. Pot is about $170 now. Turn's going to bring a 6. Looked like seat 1 checked there. Wow, and surprised to see seat 9 check. Surprised to see seat 1 check right
Is that
behind
a 10?
him.
That looks like
And that's
a 10.
and that's going to give him the straight. And seat 9 checks his straight. Maybe trying to get a bet there. I don't quite understand why he would check the straight there on the end, Shirley. He's got the nut hand pretty much, unless the guy had made spades before on the flop.
Made spades, pocket. Well, I guess it wouldn't have
Oh,
played
excuse
like
me,
that.
you're right. You're
Yeah,
right. He's got a full
possible
house
out
yeah.
there and possible flush out there.
Didn't see the pair on the board. But he took it down. That was quite a dangerous card for seat 1 to give off free, and it did burn him in the end.
Yeah.
And don't necessarily know if he was a little bit scared, like he thought that seat 9 had a better hand, but the free card did him in there.
Yes,
in
it
the
did.
end.
Ace, king, king, queen, and I have pocket 9s, and there's a queen on the board. And he makes it straight.
Again, No Limit Hold'em's a game of implied odds. You can limp in with suited connectors, low suited connectors that you might not necessarily play in a limit game.
You can even do more than just limp in. You can call small races with those if you have enough chips.
So we got 4-way action here. It's a $20 pot. Ace, Jack, 6. And no one's got any
I
part
know,
of
I was
this.
going to say.
Now a 10 comes, and still no one has any bit of it.
Well, see, number 9 now has the open end straight draw, but he checked
does.
it.
He does. Let's see if, again, he did check raise semi-bluff before.
Well, here the player in seat 1, he's betting his flush draw.
Now the pot's pretty small here, so.
He might be able to pick it up.
No, he's going to call with the open-ended straight. Now we know he's drawing to one of his straight cards. It isn't a spade. And he gets there.
He gets it.
He gets there. Wow.
And
that
also
gives seat 1 top,
pair.
a pair of queens. And he checks it.
Okay, fellas, what do we got?
Because all
Well, of course,
anyone
a king-
needs is a king.
Of course, a king is a straight there, so.
I would imagine he checked there because he was only getting called by someone that hasn't beat.
Well, it's part of the problem why you probably wouldn't want to call there with an open-ended straight draw with 2 spades on board there, because one of your straight cards, which is a queen, is going to give anybody with a king a straight. You're not going to be able to make any money off of it.
You're right.
You're drawing to a 7, and in this case, a non-spade 7.
Right.
So really, 3 outs.
Right.
And the fact that he checked it on the end, he realized that a king is good. So I wonder if maybe if he realized it before, he would have laid it down on the turn.
And I'm amazed at actually how many people miss that.
Yeah.
When they're playing, that they will call with the open and straight, but not realizing that the higher card's going to give somebody a
one card straight. A one card straight.
Right.
25. Pot's been raised. $20. 25 total bet.
C2, he's bringing this one in for $25. He's got king queen offsuit. Seat 5 is going to call with deuce 3 of spades, and seat 1 is going to call with 5-6 of spades.
All right, 3 players here.
So 3-way action. It's about an $85 pot. Well, 5-6 has picked up a pair of 6s with an open-ended straight draw, and he checks it from seat 1.
One more time.
25. Pot's been raised to 75.
And look at this. The original raiser with king queen bet 25. Deuce 3 has raised to 75 just with a gut shot.
And this is what we were just talking about. If he does hit the gut shot, the 5, then all someone needs is an 8.
Right. And seat 1's going to flat call with this pair and a gut shot. So you wonder if C5 was just trying to take that pot and realize
I would
he's
hope
in
that
trouble.
that's what he was doing. Yeah.
And it looked like seat 1 re-raised there. He's checked raise. Nope. No, I'm sorry. He called.
Yeah.
Turn card is an 8. So there you go. 5 is made a straight. And deuce 3 is in big trouble now. And he's trying to represent a 5, but seat 1 has a 5. Seat 5 bets 100. Seat 1 calls. Let's see what the river brings. It's an ace. So seat 5's got.
I think he's finally done.
Yeah. And seat 1
He
checked it again.
checks it. Wow.
The only thing that you can be scared of there is someone having 5-9.
5-9 and 9-10, but
5-9 and 9-10.
yeah, but 9-10 wouldn't have gone through all that on the flop.
I don't think so. I mean, someone could have bet 9-10 with overcards and a gut shot, but if you play the hand back in your head, I don't think the best move there on the river would have been a check. Of course, he wouldn't have been called, but you never know. The guy could have had like ace-7, ace-6, had made aces up, and he would have got a call there on the river if he had bet with a straight. So.
Uh-huh.
Pot's been raised.
5 too much. That's okay.
25.
Going that high.
Seat 7 is raising. He's got ace-10 offsuit. He's going to raise to $25.
Aim for a four.
Seat 9 is going to call. He's got pocket 5s.
Okay, 4 players there.
Seat 1's got a king-7 offsuit. So that's the hand that we got missing up there. Flop is
3-5, yeah. Flopped and open and straight draw.
did.
Oh, 3-5 fold. No, he didn't.
no, C3 is
There
still
it
in the
is.
hand.
Okay.
It gets checked around. Checked around. Now a queen comes. No one. It doesn't look like anyone has a pair. Actually, C9's got the best hand with pocket 5s. And now that it gets checked twice, he's going to bet here with pocket 5s.
60.
It's about $110. Ace-10 has a gut shot. And seat 7. And look at this. 5-3 is going to call with his open-ended straight draw. Ace-10's going to muck, so it's heads up.
60.
Pocket 5s against 5-3. River's an 8. That's going to miss him.
Okay, so
And it goes
what we
check, check on the river, and pocket 5s is going to take it down. He doesn't even want to show the 5-3.
Right.
really.
got? He marked them.
And C3 mucked there, so C9 didn't have to turn the cards up.
Thank you very much.
And that's a little bit, one of those situations there too, Shirley, when you're drawing to a straight and you think that there's a possibility that someone might be on a flush draw. Again, it cuts those odds down because even if you hit your straight, you're going to be scared to bet most likely that someone's on a flush.
You're
if
not
you
gonna
bet and you
get the
get
value.
raised big, what are you going to do now?
Right.
It's or someone's going to put you on a flush and you're not going to get a call on the end.
That's
so
Good
it's
time too, and you know it.
I don't have a good time losing $1,000 to you.
So last night we had a player here, I think George, that learned how to play poker on Internet Texas Hold'em. They also have a Fly with the Bike thread on there.
That's right.
5 players.
Sloppy top 2 pair against you with your all in is just ridiculous.
5-way action here. Flop is 3-10-7.
Just by boat
So
up.
C4's flopped 2 pairs, and he's going to lead for, it looks like,
All he
20.
had was the ace of hearts. He would have shown the other one.
20.
Now, it's interesting because this guy had checked top 2 pair earlier in the first hand that we did. He's going to bet right out with 2 pairs here.
Show the other one if you had it.
C2 is going to call. He has a gut shot straight draw
Heads up.
with 8-jack. Well, that isn't going to be any help.
60.
10-3 is going to lead again. 60.
What about 100? All right, take
Wow, Shirley.
Wow.
And he goes all in, and
Well, obviously he was going in thinking he could pick up the pot.
but he only has about $100 left, so he's so pot committed that he's going to call.
Right.
Again, when you're trying to make a kind of a semi-bluff raise, which is what that was with a gut shot, you've got to keep track of the amount of money that the other person has in front of him.
How-
He's going to
how
call
large
with
the
any
pot
10
is,
there.
right.
Yeah, he only had about $90.
You like the 3? Do you like this skin better or the 200 limit?
So C4 takes it down there with 2 pairs.
500 or no?
I played 2. But it doesn't make a difference.
You like the blinds?
Thank you very much.
I usually have this many chips in front of me at the 200 game anyway, so
What do you think about the blinds? 5-5.
it's about the same. It's all the same.
Don't say what
They're
you
going to change the
think.
blinds on the 2, I think.
Induces action here.
Yeah, it does induce action.
Shirley, of course, we have Stars and Stripes tournament series going on here at the Bicycle Casino. Tonight's event is a $100 limit hold'em. Saturday night's event, which is going to be a biggie, is a $100 no limit hold'em, $50,000 guarantee with multi-rebuys.
Right. And that's not the evening. It actually starts at 4:15. All
That's
the other
right.
tournaments start at 7:15. But the weekends, they start at 4:15. So what are you planning on playing? Are you planning on playing any of? Let me guess. $200 Omaha.
I think
next
there's an
Friday.
Omaha high-low that has my
Yeah,
name
there's
on
a
it.
$200. Yeah, next week.
Pre-flop is ace, 6, 8, 2 clubs. Jack 8 has got the 8. He has the best hand so far. 7 comes
not
on the
now.
turn.
Yeah, the 4-5 just made a straight.
He did.
15.
And he checked it from up front, Shirley. He's got the bottom end straight, and he checked it from up front.
Well, and it kind of worked out perfectly because the person immediately to his left bet 15, and he actually got some action in here. Now he can put in a raise.
Yeah. It was about a $70 pot, and he's re-raising to
60 more dollars.
So it's a $130 pot, 60 to call. And C2 is open-ended, but he mucks with a 9. Couldn't quite pick up what that river card
It
was.
looked like it was a 9. It could have been the 10, but I don't think so.
No club either.
You saw it, though. You saw it.
You did a Jack 9, did you?
Okay, the blind's 5. $30. Pot's been raised to 30.
So he's raising to 30 there with 2 chips. And if you can see what I mean by it, looks like a little bit of a different shape there, that purple chip. I think it has to do with the design.
Sure.
He takes it down. Raised with the yellow
Yeah,
and
it
the
looks a
purple.
little blurry, but I.
Not yet.
Not yet.
You got a
Straddle.
peach or a blue? Or?
Straddle.
Of course, you can sign up for the archives at www.thebike.com. Click on the on-demand banner and visit the archives to participate in ongoing polls and blogs. And it's $14.95 a month, and of course that gives you the Howard Lederer instructional DVD and all of the action that we keep on our servers.
Right.
And you can come and play and watch yourself.
Yes.
Live straddle here. Seat 9.
See if he actually picks up a big hand, and it looks like he might.
Well, he's got king queen
Pot's
offsuit.
raised
Oh, okay, king queen.
55.
And ace king's going to raise here from the button, $55. King queen's going to call. He's dominated. This is a tough hand to play out of position against a raiser here, Shirley. King queen.
And we see one of the players folded a queen.
And look at this. C2's going to come in with ace 10 offsuit. Again, that's a hand that I think is severely overvalued.
Oh, well, yeah. When I play him, I'm going for a raise to steal the pot, and that's about it.
Now, king queen's picked up an open-ended straight draw, and ace 10. It's got second pair with an overcard kicker. He's going to bet.
50.
The pot's about 150, so he's betting a third of the bet, and that's not probably even going to drive anybody out. Button's going to call here with ace king. He's got a gut shot. And king queen is open-ended, of course, and he calls.
Okay, still 3 players.
So we're looking at a $300 pot right now. Ace 10 is in the lead. Turn card's
Queen,
a 9,
yeah,
and
queen
now
king gets there.
king queen's got his straight. And let's see how he plays it.
Check.
If you just look at him, Shirley,
I
it
was
seems like
just
he's
thinking the
itching to
same
bet.
thing.
You know,
Mhm.
his body language is
He
telling
got a
me
little
I've
more
got a hand.
comfortable in his chair. And
Yeah.
Go ahead.
And look at this, the button
Nobody
checks
bit,
right behind
yeah.
him. Yeah. River's a 4. That's not going to help anyone. And king queen's going to bet $250 into a $300 pot. And I think it's probably going to be a pretty easy lay down. Well, that third diamond didn't even phase him there on the river.
I'm not thrilled with that bet because there's 2 other people in the pod. I mean, it's very likely that one of them could have had a diamond draw. They didn't, but
Wait till they catch the flush and then move volley.
I think it's a little bit of a dangerous free card there on the turn, especially the way that the guy, handled himself. I'm not the greatest reader of tells, but I'm sitting there and I'm looking at that guy, and it seemed like he wanted to bet, and then he held himself back from betting. And if someone was on a flush draw there, he would have been caught on the end.
You need to make him pay to get there.
Record out that I didn't when I was doing it. I told you, I just started playing like last week.
You wouldn't need to be holding, ace Ace, king, queen to make the nut straight on that hand.
So I was saying earlier with that ace 10, I come in for a raise to try to pick up the blinds. That's all I'm trying to do. Today I'm making it $25, $30 in the $3, $5 blind. And I'm having people call me like crazy.
I have the button.
Five-way action here. 8,
Check
king,
here.
7.
Check.
Ace 7 actually has the best hand here. Turn is a 9 with another heart. 3 hearts on board.
Don't everybody double check your cards at once.
Excuse me, C2 actually has the best hand here with 8-3, I'm sorry.
20.
C9 is going to lead.
We have a 9-jack there, Bart, in seat number 7. He has a 9.
Well, now he does, yeah.
So, yeah.
And he mucks quickly. And that semi-bluff with the queen of hearts is going to take the pot down.
Yes. Thank you very much.
Seems like we've had a lot of pots here that are multi-way.
Yeah. Well, that was my point, is that you make a raise to try to pick up the blinds, but it's not enough anymore. I mean, people want to get in there and mix it up and play.
Take your headphones off. What about you listening to Mike Caro's poker tells on your iPod over there?
That's the whole thing. I have to go set them up so I could.
Where you get that burrito from?
I'll be happy you guys move me out of your table too. It's okay with me. Oh, I gotta sit.
Your first action.
Well,
I gave you your
C2's
blind
got
back 'cause
ace
he bought the
jack
button. I got
suited
his dead blind and his other blind.
from early position. Looks like that's what the best hand is so far I can see in the whole cams.
How long was I gone? 10 minutes.
Too long. We're
Going
going
to see a limp under the gun.
We got a long list of people that want to play.
Seat 1 limps with a suited ace.
They could have my spot.
And ace jack suited is going to bring it in for 50.
Since I'm winning so much money.
And I don't think he's going to get any action here.
No, it doesn't look like it.
And he takes it down.
This again?
Now again, the big blind being $5 here is obviously it's not as big as the big blind in the 500 game, the 500 minimum game. But when you do have a live straddle here, and you've had several people, say 4, 5, 6 people limp, well, that's $60 or $70 in there. That's almost kind of, you can consider it dead. If you put a big raise in from the blinds and try to pick it up, you are risking getting called out of position.
Yeah.
But if you sense weakness on the table, you can pick up a nice pot.
Right.
Usually, and sometimes we'll see
Well,
people do
normally,
this.
I think normally when there's like 6 people in the pot, the only person that you should be concerned about is the first person, in case they were trying to trap. But any other person that would have a hand would normally come in for a raise.
Well, I think it's a great point, especially people from up back when they know that people are in there up front limping in. If they have a strong hand, they're definitely going to bring it in for a raise.
Right.
Seat 9 is raised here. Looks like. Excuse me.
Looks
Seat
like
5 is raised.
25, yeah.
Seat 5 is raised with pocket queens, $25, 4-way action. Flop is 4, 8, 4. No one has a 4. No one has an 8. No one's on diamonds. Queens has definitely got the best hand still. And he's going to bet 60. Slightly under betting the pot. And he's going to take it down.
That's it.
Thank you, sir.
C3 had a gut shot straight draw, but with a couple diamonds out there facing that type of bet, I don't think that has much value. I think it's a good way down.
Right. Well, like I said, there's only really 2 players that I'm familiar with, and he's one of them, and he's actually a pretty solid player. So he's not going to make a bad call like that with the board pair and 2 diamonds.
You're in. Four players.
4-way action, $20 pot. C3 has got king 8 suited.
And flops 2 8s.
And he's flopped trips, and let's see how he plays it. Queen 9 has got a straight draw. And he checks the 8s from up front. Seat 7 is going to lead with ace 10 off suit. So trips checks from up front here. Seat 1 calls with pocket 4s.
Pot's been raised.
And he's going to check raise.
To 70.
Trip 8s is going to check raise. It was a $20 bet. And I don't know if that's enough to get some people off of their draws here, Shirley.
Yeah, I mean, it's $15 more. I would imagine that it's enough to get most people off to where he could get heads up, which would be a good spot to be in.
Well, he check raised and he made it 70. Pocket fours is called here. So if he spikes his 2-outer, he's thinking, I can make a whole bunch of money. He might have odds to do that. And Queen 9 is going to call with his gut shot. So we're looking at over a $300 pot right now.
Queen 9 with a gut shot. Oh, a jack.
And he hit
it.
He hits the gut shot. He also has a flush draw now, too. And he checks.
Flush draw.
And he checks, and now it's to trips. Let's see what trips does. Again, it's about a $325 pot.
That's the one thing about hitting that gutter. Now he doesn't know where he stands. Does someone already have a full house? It's hard to bet on that.
Well, we'll see what
we'll
King,
see. Yeah, well, we check now. We'll see what happens.
About a $300 pot. Now there's 2 diamonds out there. Anyone with a 9 has got an open-ended straight draw. So this is wow, and he checks. He checks it. Oh, excuse me. He goes all in.
He went all in.
He went all in, and seat 2 quickly called, and the river is a 9, and Queen 9 is going to take this one down.
Oh yeah, that was huge.
So
look how many chips he has. He's going to take the whole thing.
3/8 is not going to do it. Queen 9 takes it down.
So you like that straight flush draw that much, huh?
Looks like about an additional $650 there. So that was around $1,000 pot right there. Right
oh, God, yeah. And that's enough to make him get up and leave.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
Well, it's a type of situation where I don't necessarily fault the guy in seat 2 for calling because he already has, I think it was $20. I think it was $20 on the flop, and he's only facing $50 more.
Right.
Now, if he hits his miracle card, which he's got about, he has 4 outs, so the pot, he's got to probably make about 12 to 13 times his money to hit that card.
But then he also has to think, is it good?
Well,
does he already have a full house?
You might even want to increase it to maybe, more than 12 or 13 because of the fact that someone might have a full house. Somebody might be playing that. But the guy hit his 4-outer, and he ended up making that amount of money. Now, obviously, when the board is paired, you have to adjust your odds.
Yeah,
and it didn't seem like he even hesitated. Like he knew the player didn't have a full house.
When he took that long, I thought, full house. He's just setting him up.
He has to call.
You didn't have to. I wouldn't have called you. I'm a little girl like that, though.
Did Ken saying what I said earlier?
$800 in hopes that you don't
That a wimp.
Seat 9 has got, he raised with Jack Queen suited.
As bad as my ace.
But again, it just goes to show you how it's very important to notice other people's chip stacks and odds and no limit.
Yes.
That was almost as bad as my pocket queen.
Look at this. Jack Queen against Deuce 3 from the button.
That's a fair fight.
Both players have flopped pairs here. Jack Queen's got the top pair. Queen, Deuce 5,
You
Rainbow.
made it 50 more, right?
He's going to bet, looks like $50, is it?
50?
Yes, $50.
And he's going to get a smooth call from
So
the button.
this is what we're talking about implied odds. If I hit that deuce or 3, I've got him good. Because they have a lot of chips there. Now he has the gut shot straight.
He's got a gut shot.
Okay,
And the ace isn't going to slow the queen down at all. He only has second pair now.
Because he has a flush draw also.
He does have a flush draw. He's picked up a flush draw, and he's got second pair. Pretty strong hand right now on the turn
I know
for
one
him.
for a long time. I played with a long time caller.
And seat 1's going to lay it down.
Very good.
Now, sometimes people take, playing any 2 cards and no limit to an extreme. I just don't think that you have the types of odds to call or raise, even if you're in position with a hand like Deuce 3 offsuit.
Is it okay?
Someone might make a case that if it's suited and the stacks are deep, then yes, but Deuce 3 offsuit, you're really going for, like you say, 2 pairs.
Right.
And because your cards are low, it's not even like playing 5, 6, or 10 jack where you can go straight both ways.
Right.
You can't make a straight both ways. You have to make a wheel.
Right.
So it's even less of a good hand when they're low like that
If you
and
have
offsuit.
deuce 3, you can make this 4, 5, 6.
Well, you can make Deuce 3, 4, 5, 6, but you don't have as many possibilities as if you were playing 5, 6, or Jack 10.
Right.
Both up and down both ways.
Yeah.
If you have a 5 and a 10 in your hands.
15. Pot's been raised to 15.
Seat 7 is raised to $15 here.
It is a must move?
He's got pocket 7.
A new player.
And it looks
Seat
like
9 is called
he
with
has
Deuce 3 suited.
But it's suited.
It's suited.
Most.
So, and I do play that.
I think that you can play that for a small raise. Again, it has to do with chip stacks. And
Yeah, well, I mean, if your cards are working together for straight and flush possibilities, it makes it that much better.
Ace, ace, 8. Pocket sevens has the best hand.
As far as I know.
It was a $50 pot, and it looks like he's betting 45, so about the pot
Okay,
size.
45.
Deuce 3 off. Deuce 3 suited is going to mark. King Queen's going to mark.
I'm getting nothing. Whatever you have is good.
You don't like the jackpot hands, huh?
Thank you, sir. Okay, one's a C3. He's new.
Now, as I understand it, any time in this game, regardless of how low you are in chips, you can bring your stack up to 500.
That's my understanding,
Yeah.
too.
Just like you did, and I did it.
So if you have 400, you can bring it up to 500.
It was a $400 mistake.
If you have less than 300, I think you have to bring it up to at least 300, or it's a short buy, and you're only allowed to do that once in between. You can't do 2 straight
Right,
short buys.
right.
So I believe that is how we are working the table.
3 to 5 spread. You can give it to me, or I can put it on
And the blind 5, please.
Okay, we have a new player in seat number 3.
Both sides, please.
His name is Jose. I just played with him.
So 4-way, well, 5-way action, it looks like.
5-7 flop 2 pair.
25.
And the seat 5 is going to lead here with 4-10. So he has top pair. And seat 3 is going to just smooth call with 2 pairs.
And that surprises me because
Yeah, it
when I
does.
was playing with him, he was very aggressive. He was not afraid to move all his
Bottom
chips
2
all
pairs
in.
on that flop is very, very vulnerable, Shirley. I would have liked to have seen him raise a little bit.
Now
there.
the 10-4 has top pair and the open and straight draw.
Yep. King 8 is still on a flush draw, and he has an open-ended straight draw.
Right.
So he's got a very powerful hand on the button now. Very powerful drawing hand. And now 5-7 is going to raise it to 100. It's a $35 bet. He raises to 100 with 5-7. Again, King 8 has got the second nut flush draw and an open-ended straight draw. Oh, he's going to lay it down.
Maybe once? I don't even remember what it was. A full house, maybe?
No, actually it was. It was your 6.
And looks like 10-4 is going to call
That's the
here.
only reason I got you.
About a $350 pot.
Won't stay out of my pots.
River's a jack.
Push me all in.
Playing.
And it looks like it just
And
gets
it's
checked down
checked,
here.
yeah.
Well, I got to tell you there, Shirley, people, say different things about, not raising and not slow playing. I think that in that case, it's almost 100% correct to try to drive people out if you've got a person behind you with bottom 2 pairs and 2 bluffs on the board.
Yeah.
Because you can face counterfeiting, you can face a middle card there that's going to complete some sort of straight.
See, I'm not against slow playing as much as you are, but in that situation, I totally agree with you. I mean, there's an overcard, there's 2 flush cards.
Yeah. I mean, the case could be made that that they could say that he was waiting to see a safe card on the turn. I've heard some people say that, but I think that I would have raised it up a bit there.
4 players.
4-way action here. It's linked around.
Oh, we have some good crap and bad crap, and all the craps are still the same.
Flop is deuce, 4, king, 2 diamonds. Turn is an 8, and 2 people have 8s here.
15.
Seat 1 has got seat 5 outkicked with his 10-8. And he's going to bet 15, and he's going to get a call on the button. River's a 4, and now it's going to be a chop pot. That saved the button right there, Shirley. That 4 on the river saved the button. Both players have 8s and 4s.
Right, they're going to chop the pot.
Yep.
Chips?
Yeah.
And it's going to get chopped up.
Okay, you're going to have to help me with this one, Bart, because I do not want to destroy your fan's name on 2+2. I know it's Baron, but you know the exact pronunciation.
Baron Vangor Toth.
Toth, right? That's what I thought.
Rhymed with both.
Both, right.
He's pointed it out to me many times.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, he's pointed out that it is not always an advantage to have the most chips on the table. And you're right. I apologize for saying always, because that's one thing I try not to do when I'm in here, because poker's never absolute, and there's not always, an exact. There's not always an answer, the same answer for every situation. Everything's always different.
Well, especially in a cash game, obviously. I think that you can manipulate your stack according to your position on the table and what positions you might have on specific players,
right,
and things like that.
Remember, you push your chips.
So thank you.
Because if it was an advantage, you'd see people buying in at the unlimited table for large, the most money. The person would have the most advantage.
I think that there is an advantage, as he pointed out, that it's not always an advantage, but in like the no limit buy-ins where someone has $500 and everyone has $500 and another player has $10,000. Oh wow, we have flop straight here.
Seat 3 has flopped the nut straight here with Queen Jack.
25.
He's going to bet $25 here. So he's going to bet about the size of the pot. Flop is King 10-9, 2 clubs. Again, the flop was King 10-9. So Queen Jack has got the nut straight. And looks like
he's getting called.
Seat 9 is called with the bottom pair 9-6. Well, Queen Jack also has the Queen of Clubs here too, Shirley. And it gets checked. He checks behind the other club.
And now appears. Oh no, it's not.
And now if it gets checked you on the river, you got to put some sort of bet in, right, Shirley? And he's going to put a bet. It looks like about $100.
There's no way the 9's calling here. He shows it.
And he showed. It's a dangerous.
It's just amazing to me that
it's a little bit of a dangerous card on the turn if the guy has the ace of clubs, and I see it time and time and again in some of these games that people will get scared when a third suited card comes to possibly complete a straight, and they check behind the turn. And I think a lot of people end up losing the pot and get backdoored into a flush. In that case, the guy had the Queen of Clubs, so it wasn't that much of a concern. But I think it's all more of a reason to bet there with the Queen of Clubs.
So then you can kind of see where you're at. Is that what you mean? Yeah, that's
you
what
also
I was
have outs
thinking.
too if the guy has a lower flush. Unless he was trying to maybe set up inducing a bluff on the river there. But that's pretty advanced play. 4-way action here. It's limped around. Flop is 3 ace-10 rainbow. Seat 1 has the best hand here. 2 people have bottom pairs, and it looks like it gets checked around. Jack on the turn. Seat 9 is going to lead. He's got he's got a gut shot straight draw and a flush draw. Queen 10 is going to flat call with now his third pair. He's got the gut shot as well.
Now, on the camera, do they
$20 bet.
us constantly, or they only put a face
5 comes on the river there. And it gets checked, and Queen 10's going to take it down.
Yeah, I think if Seat 9 would have kept up the betting, he might have been able to take that. Yeah, that would have been a hard call to make with pair 10. So back to that. Don't you agree that if you're sitting at a table with nine-handed and 8 of them have $500 and you have $10,000, that a lot of times you'll be able to get all their chips.
Well, I think I think you're correct in saying that it's not an absolute answer to the question. Yeah, I guess it depends on the players.
That's true.
If you've got a bunch of people that are buying in for more than they have ever bought in for at the minimum, then yes, I would say yes, because they're playing scared.
Because they're going to be scared.
If you have some people that specialize in playing short stacked, well, maybe not.
Okay.
Yeah. And this one's going to get chopped around. Of course, when we talk about chop, we're talking about not seeing a flop and getting a reduced rate on the drop there. It's only 50 cents instead of $3 if you see a flop. So if there's no action to the small blind, normally 2 players will chop the blinds.
Right. And last night we saw that the chopping, they paid the $1 house collection, and in the no limit it's 50 cents.
Well, you know, it's funny because Tuckman doesn't chop in the blinds. Now, we always chop in limit because really in limit, I don't think there's a point in playing out the hand. But in no limit, if you've got someone who you think you can really, really outplay, especially if you've got them to your right, you might necessarily not want to chop.
Yeah, but don't you agree? I mean, to be like poker or to have poker etiquette, you either do or you don't. You can't say, "Oh, I'll chop this time," but I'm not going to chop if this person sucks.
You need to make it clear before the hand starts. That's all. I think Ace Queen is raised here at $25. Seat 9, he's got 9-10 offsuit. He's going to call from the button. Seat 2 is going to call with Ace Jack suited. Oh, we got 5-way action here, so it's about $125 pot.
Making pot odds.
5 players.
3 of the aces are out here. Well, 9-10's flop top pair. He's got a gut shot. Ace 10's got a better hand, though, from seat 4. Now, the original raiser from seat 9 is going to lead. The flop is 10,
he's the original.
7,
I don't think
6.
he's the original raiser.
You're right.
He's the one with 9-10.
You're right.
He was
He's
not the original raiser.
From the button, I'm sorry.
And everybody's...
Is that your thieving bet?
Everybody's staying in. I'm a little surprised at the Queen 7. Oh, okay, he's calling for a 9, and now he has the best hand.
Well, my full house has to be good.
No, the flop is actually 10, 7, 6, 7 on the turn.
So there's 2 7s out there.
2 7s, and the turn.
So the 7 Queen has the best hand.
Right, with 3 7s. And he's going to bet 200.
Oh, wait, we got a 9. We've got a straight.
Oh, I haven't hit any ace anything.
Oh, never mind.
The board is 10, 7, 6, 7. There we go.
Okay, back like I was saying. The 3 7s have the best hand.
And he's going to bet 200 with 3 7s. He's going to get a call from the button here with 9, 10. Just a gut shot and top pair. And the river's going to be a 4. He still only has a 10 here. That's all he's got on the button. Queen 7 goes all in. Pot's about $400 or $500 here. And if he's called this much, you wonder. He called $200 on the turn, and he mucks.
And he is disgusted.
So he was drawing to the gut shot. He was drawing to 4 outers. That's what he thought, or maybe a 10 would have given him a full house.
If he didn't call there, then he obviously didn't think he had the best hand. He probably thought he had to hit that 8.
Right.
8 or 10.
Nothing like picking up trips there on the turn and then getting a guy to call you down with a gut shot. Made a nice bet there on the turn for value and tried to drive people out. Yeah, definitely. You know, and it's just a situation where obviously if the 10, he would have had a full house. So he had, I guess, 5 outs to draw to, he figured. Or excuse me, 6 outs to draw to. 4 8s.
And the 2 10s.
And 2 10s.
And you raise before the flop and 6 people call you and you miss everything. I think that's the most frustrating part about this game.
So it looks like it's lumped
You're
again.
patient and then you get it and then you miss anyways.
5-way action here. Well, set of 8s here for seat 7. Let's see how he plays it. Flop set of 8s.
So I don't know what's more frustrating.
He's going to bet $20. Flop is 8 deuce jack. 9-10's got an open-ended straight draw. And he's going to call. Well, now he's picked up a pair in an open-ended straight draw. If you're set of 8s, I think you'd continue to lead here pretty good. And he only bets 20 here, Shirley. I think that's a very big underbet here.
Yeah, I think so.
Well, the river's not gonna hurt him. So he still has a set of 8s. River's an ace.
Same hand. You're gonna chop it. I ain't chopping anything. One of them gonna win if both of us call.
Wow.
I don't think two is.
And now he bets big at the end, where you'd probably only be called by a hand that might beat you. And we see that sometimes time and again. Now, someone with aces up would have called him there. Maybe a smaller 2 pairs, but that pot was about $100 there.
That was a really
on the
small
turn,
bet.
and he bet $20. So he was, giving 5-to-1 odds to anybody to call there on the turn. Pocket 6s for seat 6 here. He's going to limp. Seat 7's got a Jack 5 suited, he limps. Seat 9's got Ace Rag offsuit, he limps.
Can I have my card back?
Flop is King 9 Jack. All hearts here. And it gets checked around. Well, that makes it easier for us to figure out who's got the best hand.
It looks like, I was going to say, it looks like Jack 10 has the best hand.
Well, now
they
he does.
A pair in the flush draw.
Now he does with the 10 of hearts. 10 of hearts is going to be good for the flush.
Before then, nobody had a king. Yeah.
And he's got 2 pairs in a flush, but a flush is good here. And seat 5, now he's going to bet a little bit here. And the only thing that's going to beat him is a queen or an ace, and you wouldn't think someone would show that much passive play. In seat 1 here...
Well, we don't see his cards.
He's got the 8 of hearts.
8 of hearts.
He's going to call, and he's going to lose to a higher flush. I like the bet there on the river because, again, I don't think that someone with a queen would have checked the turn, most likely. Unless he might have been from up front there, but no one had showed any flop aggression. So you wouldn't necessarily think that anyone's got the ace of hearts in their hands, and then it gets checked twice. I think it's a good bet, value bet, because the king and the jack are on the board. So.
Right.
Yeah. What?
Bottom over, no.
Pocket jacks. This is the first time we've seen this guy play. He's going to bring it in for a raise. Seat 4 with pocket jacks. Seat 1's calling again with that overvalued hand that I hate. Ace 10 off suit from out of position. Wow, what a flop for King 7 of spades here.
Oh, where was that flop?
2 spades. He's got an open-ended straight draw. He's going to bet. And Jacks is going to go all in.
He's not messing around.
And King 7's going to call here. He's got a huge, huge draw.
Flush draw too?
Huge draw.
It's a 5-10 or a spade.
Yep. Turn is a 7. That gives him a pair. And the river's a 3. And Jacks is actually going to have the best hand here. Wow. Now, if we didn't know that the jack of spades was in that guy's hand with an open-ended straight and flush draw, got about 15 outs to come with 2 cards. I might even go so far as to say that he might have been a slight favorite there with his overcard, and I think he was. He was a favorite.
With the open and straight draw, and the spade, yes.
And definitely the king. He might have even made him more of a favorite with the king, more than slightly, like maybe 60-40 there. So it was the right call there. And he ends up taking down an additional.
Throw their beer at
Looks like an additional 2. Doubles up a stack for an additional $2 to $250.
Going for the ball and hit him on the top of the head. Whoever the player was just went crazy. Oh, it's Sheffield, of course.
Shirley, I'm going to step out of the booth after this hand for about, until after tabletop. And we're going to let
bring in a guest commentator
come in here.
The fans started talking.
4-way action here. It's limped around. 5-way action, excuse me. Flop is ace, deuce, 4, rainbow.
Hit him on top of the cap.
15.
The fan hit him off.
Oh, you got to stick his hand out right in front of you.
Seat 2 is not showing us his cards. Seat 7's going to lead with the 4 here. He's got queen 4. Again, the flop is ace, deuce, 4. And he's going to take it down. So I will be back, Shirley, after tabletop.
Okay. And I'll be leaving then.
And,
so I'll be seeing you next week.
Sure.
Straddle.
Here once again we have a straddle. He's putting up $10 there. He'll be the last to act on the flop.
Straddle.
Thomas is if you're a player, they should go down and phone them. $79 a day.
Okay, looks like it's limped pot here. We have 1, 2, 3. So far we have 7 people. It's back on the straddle to act. It's going to be a limped pot, so 7-way action.
$100 in there pre-flop. You got to make it 300 to go.
$70. Flop is 663. No player has the 6.
Check.
Gets checked around. Okay, the ace deuce checked again. He picks up his top pair and checks.
25.
And I'm sure that's probably going to be enough to pick up the pot.
$25.
I thought you'd be happy. I raised your.
So ace deuce is going to pick up the pot here with aces and sixes. So I'm joined here. Our guest is Brian Hickstad. How you doing, Brian?
Pretty good, thank you.
Thank you.
Well, it's nice to be here with you.
Happy to be here.
So tell everybody a little about yourself.
I quit working the bike right before they started doing this. Just played mostly online, but thought I'd come back and see everyone for a bit and give this a try.
I heard that you have a little following. Is that true? Is that online?
Perhaps.
People watch you play? Is that right?
Some friends sometimes, yeah.
Okay.
You can get a setup to us.
So has it been good to you?
I'm sorry?
Has it been good to you?
Oh, yeah.
The new job change. Good. Okay, once again, we have a limped pot here. 6-way action, 7-way action.
I'm taking a break.
And
Unreal.
Top pair for seat 8.
14.
right.
As well as seat 9, but queen kicker.
Still got 2 more right here.
So he's being called with the 8-jack kicker. He's going to need to hit the jack. Now the board pairs. So if a card comes that's higher than a queen, they'll chop this pot. Otherwise, the queen 8's going to win.
16.
As well as
Is
a
it?
5,
Yeah,
so
but we have
chop
the
as
flop
well.
up there wrong. That should be an 8 rather than a 6. So the flop is 6-5-3 and the turn's a 5.
Yes.
That's an 8 of clubs.
8-5.
Right, 8-5-3 and then 5. And a 4 is going to come. And the queen 8 still has the best hand.
Is that 60?
16.
You just outkicked by 1.
Good value bet there.
Yeah, it's actually a nice pot. We saw seat number 9 had a lot of chips. He's lost quite a bit. If I can see correctly, it looks like he still has some. I mean, they're $25 chips, so it still looks like
he has around 100 or so.
I think those are purple chips. I think they're $25 chips. So I believe he's got about $250.
Oh, 200, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I played with seat 9 quite a few times. Pretty action player.
Okay,
So
I see. I'm not familiar with this play at all.
I would
Just a
expect
little
to see
bit
his
that I've
stack
watched.
fluctuate a lot in this type of a game.
So they're not purple; they're white chips. So he has $555
Oh, wow.
there. It looked like 5 whites, 2 purples, and 1 yellow. So he still has quite a bit of chips. It looks so.
5 lanes.
It looks so weak with only like 8 chips there. I mean, that's a lot of money.
Got shot for seat 5.
25.
Flops are not my friend. Still early. Yeah, very early.
Check.
Ace is the best hand here? bluffing.
Looks like it.
Yep.
We have fives and deuces with an ace kicker.
No, we have to be two people, so I better just check.
That's, yeah, I didn't think there was going to be any action there.
You think maybe Seed 8 could have bluffed at the pot there?
He might have been able to, yeah.
He could have maybe put in a $30 or $40 bet.
Yeah, I knew I missed my bet.
I don't know, C2 would have called.
It seemed like he was sitting there thinking about it for a while, so yeah.
Considering it.
That's tough to do, though. So, yeah, I mean, there's 2 fives, 2 deuces, 3 clubs out there.
It had been checked to him on the turn. And
That's,
the river
yeah, that's true.
twice.
We have a new chip count.
You can't back off like that.
We have seat number 1 has $1,000. Seat number 2 has $1,500. Player in seat 3 has $1,100. Seat number 4 has $500. Seat number 6 has $800. Seat number 7 has $550. Seat 8 has $300. And our question about seat 9, he has $800.
Far more
so,
than
yeah. I think he should get a little bit of yellow chips there.
5 picked up the blinds with ace 10 suited there.
Good race, good race. Well, if I took the turn, I have to get all the way. Decided position. I figured, I gotta get lucky somewhere along. I got lucky last one.
I know seat 7 is gonna try to steal my pot. My blind this time.
Okay, it's been
Seat
like
9 linked with a queen 4 offsuit.
Yeah, well, you'll be seeing a lot of hands like that. And ace jack here comes in with a pretty strong raise. I would imagine probably trying to pick up the blinds.
30 more. Yeah, total is 35. 30 one. Three players.
Ace jack 2 on the flop, so ace jack is flop top pair.
Top
no help
2.
To either,
yeah, actually flop top 2, yeah.
No help to either the top
And he's
pairs.
not going to slow play it at all. Wow. Oh, that was strange.
It looked like 7.
It looked like
just
yeah,
call.
he put in a raise, but his hand never came away from a stack, so he could pull those chips back.
New Orleans is a riverboat, am I right? Huh? New Orleans, they have to
Guess he was just looking for that.
Looking for the 7.
7. Seems like a pretty bad call there.
Yeah, but just imagine if he would have got it, he would have got the
the other
players.
player only has $350 left after that.
That's
so
true.
He's calling 50 on,
Yeah, the
two
implied
outs.
odds of $300, $350.
Maybe if seat 4 had as many chips as he did, it would have been justified.
Yeah. You have a big poker game?
On those, I don't think they play poker anymore. Too small for me. I think
Harrison did. Land-based one.
Yeah.
Raise 50.
He just made it $50 with 9-8.
9-8 offsuit.
And I'm wondering if he made it $50 because he has no yellow chips. He has no change. He actually got called there. Ace king. Ace king.
Ace king didn't re-raise. Just
he just called. Yeah.
Ace 5-5 on the flop.
Wow. Not messing around.
Seems like if you're going to trap with ace king there and not re-raise pre-flop, you would certainly want to check to the raiser.
Slow play a little bit there.
On the flop.
Well, yeah, he was in position there. So he was actually last to act.
Oh,
But
you're
he
right,
might have,
right.
yeah, but he
Sorry.
might have checked and gave a free card or bet a little less. That was a lot of money. He changed his mind midstream how he was playing that hand.
And
at 9, everything is like $22. Oh, if you go to the buffet, yeah.
But food is not cheap anymore. This is
Pocket kings for seat 5 there.
Option.
No raise. He raises.
And he's he's in the small blind there.
You got option 2.
To raise.
Raise.
Didn't you ask me if I was checking?
I
No,
would,
just move the chips.
would like her to announce how much that is. What do you think? It looks like 35? 35 more?
35.
There we go. 35.
Getting called by seat 3 with ace 4 suited. One ace dead already there. So. Excuse me, 2 aces dead already.
But he does flop
Yeah,
the open
flops
and
the
straight
open-ended.
draw.
Hold on. He first. 60.
Much?
60.
There's an 8, no help.
150. 150.
150.
150. That's a little less than the pot. Is that right?
I
The
believe
pot's
so,
about
yeah.
200. So tough call.
So he's only getting,
here.
he's
Just
only getting
a
about 2.5 to 1. But I'm not necessarily sure that seat 4 really knows, what the proper amount would be. You know what I mean? Seat 3. 3.
Yeah.
I apologize. I don't know if, he would realize that like an $80 bet would have been actually correct.
Also, I don't think
call.
seat 5 had many chips left after that, so even if he had hit,
Right.
he would have gotten much more from him on the river. Looks like seat 5 was almost all in.
Raise 20.
Made it $20. Can you see his hand?
Yes, he has ace 10 offsuit.
Okay.
Looks like he's getting called in pretty much every
It's-
place.
Right.
Should be a good
That's
pot
what I'm
here.
saying. You're going to see a lot of calls with a lot of, marginal hands.
I'm not really a fan of raising the button though with ace 10 off.
Well, like I was telling Bart, if I'm going for a raisin in there, I'm going to pick up the blind. So you've got to make it a big bet, and in this game, $25 is not cutting it.
Yeah, 20 even, I think he made it.
Did he make it 20?
That's what I thought.
Oh, that's definitely not cutting it. Yeah.
Especially after limpers.
Right.
No way anyone's putting down.
No. Because it's not really a hand that I want to play, but I will pick up, that dead money out there. If there's $25 out there, I'll put in a raise.
110.
7 has trips here. He's going to raise.
You too?
Not going
That's
to call
it, yeah.
the gut shot and overcard.
Hey.
I really don't like how seat 5 played that hand, both pre-flop and on the flop. Seems like with that many callers, just betting 50 or whatever he bet there is not going to take down the pot. If he would have just checked, he could have possibly hit the jack, hit it straight, and then probably busted seat 7.
Right.
Because it's tough to lay down 3 queens there as well. Instead, he bet and lost money and didn't get to see the turn.
Can I go change this, please?
Thank you. Light Straddle.
Yeah, action player in seat 9. Live straddles once again.
It seems like he's the only one that's been doing that so far. I think we've had 3, and I think he's done it 3 times. But he's had hands, actually. I think he had ace-king one time, king-queen another time.
Exactly.
It could be a very profitable situation when you live
Yeah,
straddle
well,
and someone
now
tries to
we
take you
have
off it.
the player in seat number 7, small blind, has pocket queen.
Raise 25 more.
Makes it 35 total.
So the live straddle looks like he has 5-6. Yeah, he has 5-6.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Is that what you got?
Looks like it's going to be a 4-way action here with 2 pocket pairs and a 5-6.
He's been stealing
And 5-6 is calling. Oh, it's only a $25 raise.
No, just a chain.
Alright, I don't know. I just turned
Just call,
around.
20?
Just put 25.
I was licking my lips if it was a re-raise.
I'm sure you were.
So all of those other
I'm gonna
players need
double-check
baby
that.
cards to make their hands.
Yep.
4 places.
Let's put some pictures in there. That's
There ain't no
And
picture.
Well, that should
that's
shut down the
enough,
action pretty
yeah.
well. Doubt anyone's going to be
55.
calling this back.
That's the highway I live on. 55.
55 speed limit.
You're 10?
Would that be good?
Seat 6 decides to make a play at this spot. It'd be really tough for seat 7 to call any action.
I know.
It's about
Oh, I got better than a 10.
pretty bad flop for your
10's my
queens.
kicker.
So you got
Just don't know how I'm going to make the most money off of you.
10's my kicker.
Best
He's
way
so
to make
full of
most
it.
money is to call.
If 10 was his kicker, he had better than a 10. He would
I
have to have
missed
king
anyways.
10, yeah.
I think he flashed his hand there after
I
all
got a straight
that
draw.
talk. He actually flashed his pocket threes to seat 7. I don't know if that was intentional or not.
Queen deuce also.
Pocket queen?
Queens
We'll
take it
find out
down.
when we order that tape.
So yeah, pay $15.
Actually, I'm.
They had ace
I'll
queen
tell you
of
what, give me
clubs.
$10 and I'll tell you what it was.
I know how to
There you
pass
go.
today.
He could pay him $10 or go home and get for 15 watch the whole thing on archives. Actually, a whole month's worth for 15. I think that's better value.
Excuse me.
Plus, get to watch the Howard
Hey,
Leonard
Duke, if you're listening,
DVD.
can you record this event? All of it?
He's getting instructions from his
right.
friend in Las Vegas.
Duke, record this event. I got a buddy. That's how you do. If you got a friend, tell him, come record it.
My friend told me to raise, but I didn't raise it. I didn't listen to it.
So again, we have a limped pot.
I had
5 people.
ace queen.
Yeah.
Ace queen of
$25.
clubs.
Or
I
is
had
it
ace
6?
queen beat.
Looks like there's $30 in the pot.
Yeah, 6 people.
So ace 7 has top pair with the ace kicker, which is the best hand now.
If you didn't have a king, you didn't stand a chance.
Oh, no. Does not have the best hand. The hand we don't have up there, seat 2, has pocket aces.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Where'd that come from?
And with the ace of clubs.
Pair of king, come on.
So the turn's a jack of clubs. Now he has the...
There's a nut flush draw. And
yeah,
the
he has the
overpair.
nut flush draw and the pair of aces.
15.
See if seat 9 decides to drop that 2-outer here. He does.
I'm not kidding about being an action player. Jack out there, clubs out there, and he only has second pair.
Four on the river, no help to anybody.
Yeah, now he's in a dilemma. He called me. Does he have me beat? Can I get a value here?
I think I would certainly value bet the aces here, but
I think I would too.
problem is if he bets and gets raised,
Then
seat
he's
9
in
still has
deep
enough money
trouble.
to put a good raise in, but he might get him off the stand.
Yeah, no, seriously.
It's just a small bet. It looks like
Yeah,
$50.
Seems like a good amount to bet, hopefully get called. Doesn't want to bet too much.
How much? 50?
Yes.
You don't like these big ones anymore.
Oh.
So easy to just toss in one chip and know you're getting money back.
Yeah, that was a $100 chip he threw in there.
6 aces you got today.
Shows the ace of hearts. Rough beat.
You milked that exactly the way.
6 aces.
And he's won with every one of them.
I know. That phone call came on the right time.
The hand is void, sir.
I get no reception.
Did they see you?
Alright, who's gonna double me up or something?
Cut me off my iTunes.
You just paid me. Told me to raise again.
Who's those pink chips?
No, you didn't raise last time. He did.
I guess the pinks are hundreds, huh?
Raise 14.
After pair aces, he would have.
C2 has made it 40. Open for 40 with ace jack.
Pair jack.
Ace jack suited.
Make it 100.
Raise 100.
C9 making it 100 with pocket sevens. It's in pretty bad shape here.
For all in flop.
That's a beautiful flop for a raise.
Oh, that's a bum.
Jeez.
Well, he's actually going to get some money for that ace. He hit his ace and has a gut shot here,
I'm on it.
or has whatever inside straight draw.
All in.
Queens with the set going on.
Yeah, he's not messing around.
Tough call for ace jack here. It seems like it's definitely.
The caller wants to see both hands.
Pot's about 400, and he's betting about that.
He's betting about the pot, right?
2 to 1.
So he makes a good
Jack
laydown.
of diamond he got. I know him.
And he even said right there he has a set.
I know him.
Nope. Set.
Where's the straight
You wouldn't even
That's
call.
your friend.
Set it to king like that.
Thank you.
Good lay down?
Excellent, man. I didn't want you to come in. I don't want to.
Thank
I've
you.
He doesn't want somebody with a straight draw to come in.
There is
So Brian, the one thing that you can get used to when you do come in here is that 2 plus 2 likes to rag on us commentators. It's just something you're going to have to get used to. So actually, they do it all in fun. I mean, they try to help us. They're not doing it to be mean.
Next time
So they're
go
just
home,
telling you to
I'll
speak up a little.
Next time I go home, I'll have to watch and give Bart a few comments or something.
Yeah. Yeah, we always try to read what's going on the different forums. So there's a few forums that
I
post.
take that seat.
2 plus 2 and Daniel Nebrana's, oh God, I'm missing it right at the moment. Full Contact Poker. And we also have internettexashold'em.com.
5 more players.
They have a forum on there. Occasionally we get RGP and a couple
5
others.
players.
I thought this guy for sure had
Pretty
ace
big
queen,
following.
ace king.
Yeah.
So many aces over there.
Flop is king 9-7 with 2 spades.
I bet.
Gives seat 8 top pair.
Seat 9 flop the flush draw.
Aces he would have bet because he would have had the same dilemma as I have. You don't want any.
60.
Free card, though.
Yeah.
Black and chicken.
Hey, Patrick.
The only person who would have checked that would have been.
Call $60 bet.
You think he's tilting?
I think he's like this all the time.
Yeah?
Actually.
Okay.
My experience with him is this is nothing out of the ordinary.
Because I have never played with him before. So the turn's an 8.
I was worried about ace king.
So yeah, now the king 10 has. Ooh, we have an all in. So the king bets. It looks like. It looked like about
So
$75, and now.
Seat 9 has gone all in.
Yeah, Jacob in seat number 9's moved all
You kind
in.
of see open-ended draw as well as top pair.
Right. That's a great move there by seat 9. I'm impressed.
He has an open-ended straight flush draw
He
as
also
well.
has right. So he called on the flop, and he didn't hit his spade, but
He picked up the additional
right. He's
straight
going to try
out
to win the pot right
kind
here.
of
That's a great move.
Certainly looks like seat 8 may lay it down.
It looks like it.
Tom. Pete.
Well, I don't know. He's like
Pete.
scooting back.
Can I get 20?
He might shove those in there.
Yes, sir.
He looks hesitant, though.
Well, he's got to think that his king now, after seat 9 going on, his king probably isn't good. Even though it is, we know that.
We know it is,
He's
yeah.
got to be thinking it's no good, and he's probably just trying to think, how many outs does he have? You know, he needs a 6 or a jack for the straight. Wow, lays it down. Move by seat.
Great move, yeah.
Push me around. Unbelievable.
I'm sure you more chips than I do.
Huh?
You have more chips, don't you?
Only this much.
Want to buy the buttons? Okay.
Yeah, it sounded like we had a player buying the button.
Okay,
Which
well,
means...
Is that him in the yellow shirt?
Let's see.
Ask him.
Trying to figure that out. That's what he said, right?
Big blind, sir.
Okay, so nobody's buying the button.
No, I think they were just seeing if seat 3 wanted the big blind.
There it is.
5 and 5.
One more, right?
Buying the button means if you miss your blind, you can come in and post both of them, and then you get the button on the next hand, rather than waiting till behind the button and posting both.
I thought you were going to take that seat.
I was.
And then what?
I haven't got it.
It's strange.
I don't know.
Seat 1 makes it 20 to go on the button with 9s. Looks like he picks up the blind.
Picks up the pots.
I'm behind you.
What's up with the blinds? What's up with the blinds? Fire and foul. Okay.
Okay, so they're doing a little bit of musical chairs here. We have song moving to seat number 2.
Okay.
A few lucky seat changes.
Yeah, and then I guess the player in seat 2 left, which was Peter,
Sir, when asked you, said you wait. I said yes.
and a new player in seat 8.
You know, I would have had pocket aces hadn't you done that.
Well, he doesn't have to put 10, does he?
I have it here, sir.
So yeah, that is a new player in seat 8.
Put 10. The big blind is only 5. So I don't need that.
Are you going to raise it over their pocket aces?
Option, sir. Go ahead.
Sorry.
That's okay. Option. 6 players.
6 players. Look at these hands. I like the 4-6.
Wow,
Or lamp,
deuce
yeah.
3, flop the wheel.
Yeah.
15.
Doubt
What a
we'll get
nice
much
flop.
action.
Yeah.
All right, I give you this time.
And nobody even has an ace. We have a couple pairs.
Got
Couple
called
people
by
with a pair of
of
fours.
A backdoor flush draw.
2 players.
You don't like it? Check it if you don't like it.
I think that's about it.
Yeah.
He's done. Good seat change.
Yeah, the lucky seat change. Flop the wheel.
So our new player in seat 8 is Eugene.
You're going to play 5 hours.
There he is. And it looks like he did the max buy-in, $500. This is a $300 to $500 no limit game, so you can buy anywhere in between $300 and $500. And then the blinds are $5 and $5. 5 for the small, 5 for the 10.
No, he doesn't have to. You got it? Yeah, I got it.
Raise it.
Okay, Ken's going to raise here with ace queen.
Looks like about 30 or so.
30 to call.
Yep, 30.
30 more?
So it was total of $35, so it's 30 more to each
Seat
player.
9 cold calls the 30 with queen 7 suited. Continuing his style of play there.
Right. We have 10 jack, and I'm curious to see if 8-6 is going to make this call here. And he does. All right, let's see if 9-3.
Well, he did just flop a wheel with 2-3 off.
Yeah,
so
he did.
Got to think that seat's pretty hot so far.
Yeah. So we had 9-3 folded, and he's kind of been a little wild here and there. So I'm surprised with all that action he didn't come in.
Top pair for 10 jack, as well as a gut shot for seat 2.
Oh, okay. That's right. He did call with the 6-8. He hits it. He hits the 7 on the turn. So this is definitely his lucky seat here.
Yeah.
Okay, the pair of jacks is still going to lead out here. And he's going to double check. Do I have the best hand? Yeah, it's still there. You have 6-8.
He has the nut straight on the rainbow board. Just calls for that.
Nice.
Like.
Yeah, nice. Bart would probably be in here throwing a fit that he should raise it because he doesn't really agree with slow playing, but I like the play.
Well, on this board, there's so few rivers that can hurt you. You've got people behind you, I think including the pre-flop raiser, so gotta hope that someone else is going to pop it up for you.
2 players.
Eight on the river. No help. The jack hand was drawing dead anyways. Might save him some money though. Now that there's just the 4 card straight out there.
Right.
Might, not bet his hand. Is that a $100 bet from seat 2?
That's what I was just thinking. It looks like $100.
Like.
It's so hard with the lights, the
Yeah.
reflection on it. I would imagine it's a $100 bet.
Wow, gets the call. I don't know, would you call there on the river with top pair, no kicker? You've got to figure after all the action in the hand, C2 has to have something. Have you be either two
right.
pair or even just like
even
ace jack.
Right,
something.
a jack with a better kicker.
There were no real draws on the board that didn't hit, so not much else you could have.
You got gets.
Live straddle. Raise it. 30. So raise to 30 player.
He's on a roll.
Yeah, seat 2 playing his rush, raising with
it's hard to
something.
tell. Yeah.
You can't see
we
his
can
other
we can
card.
see an ace. We can't see
He has
that.
the ace of spades, that's for sure.
2 players.
Getting called by seat 9, 6-10 suited.
I'm sure he'll spread that out for us. So he does hit an ace.
6-10 suited with really nothing on this flop. To runner flush draw, so probably not going to get much action.
Can we at least put the ace up there? It is the ace of spades, right?
He has the ace of spades.
Yeah.
Which is enough.
Okay. That's it.
So 3 hands in a row now since the seat change.
And I don't really agree with taking a seat change, because of luck factor, but definitely taking a seat change to get position on a certain player.
Yeah, maybe he wanted the action player in seat 9 as the button.
He wanted position
like
on the player in seat 9, or the player in seat 1 has a lot of chips. Maybe he wanted position on him. Although the player in seat 7 has a decent amount.
I get every part from here.
6 players.
Five, 4, 2 flop with 2 clubs.
I'm the only one got 2 aces.
2 aces right now are no good.
Right now.
4 players.
Ooh, ace 2 has trip 2s now.
30.
That was a strange scream. So ace 9's betting out here. Doesn't have anything.
Yeah, he has no draw. No, he has.
I mean,
he can hit a 3 for the straight.
Uh-huh. But then even then, it's, you know, I mean, all someone needs is a 6 to beat him, let alone a full house. Or
Ace 2 just calling on the turn. I'm surprised he just called there. You think he would have wanted to make it around 100 or so. Maybe he's hoping seat 9 will keep betting into him.
No, he better put in some kind. He didn't put in any kind of bet there.
Wow.
He hits his perfect card and checks it on the turn and
no
river.
Flush on. I'm really surprised he didn't bet there. There's no flush on the board.
Right.
He's losing to maybe Ace 3 or
3-6, right?
Doesn't he think that seat 9 would have bet? Very surprised by that.
How did you like that Mexican?
This is going to be our last hand here, and then we go to table talk, which means we take a half an hour break and let the viewers just listen to what's going on at the table.
I didn't get it spicy. I get it no spicy and no shells. You get it with shells?
No, but I had some jalapenos on
It's
the
too much
side.
spicy.
Straddle is running good.
I never like Straddle.
Pocket aces.
All exciting last hand for us here. We have a limp pot, 5-way action.
Seat 3 limping with Ace 2 off.
If I don't catch a pair by the time the blind gets to me, I'm leaving. I haven't had one
Seat 8
pair
has a pair of
since we
6s
started
here.
an hour and a half ago. Not one pair. Is that a deal with everybody?
It looks like that's
Seat 2
it.
takes it down.
Well, it was a pleasure having you come in, Brian.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, no problem. And we'll be back in half an hour. Bart will be back in half an hour. Enjoy.
I've got pocket pairs. I can't get it. I'll have 2 red 6s and it'll come out spades or spade. What do I do?
Raise to 50. 2 players.
Best flop you can ask for, 6 high.
Did you have pocket?
Ace. Yes.
Action right away.
Options. 3 players.
There's a pair.
25.
Thanks for picking up. I got a pair on the turn with a deuce kicker.
Well, I think we're going to be losing you pretty soon, huh?
I don't know. I was just telling him I got a pair on the turn with a deuce kicker. Oh, that last one. Had I been in.
Blind.
So is that count, or you're going to one of those?
I'm not going to let that one count yet.
It's not part of it.
Yeah.
That definitely doesn't count.
You get one more shot.
One more shot at it, and then I'm out of here, boys. As much as I love playing with you, but I can't just keep getting blinded off. Giving up 300 in blinds.
Raise 15.
not going to re-raise, huh?
Okay. I'm alright.
Perfect. 4 players.
That's some small cards dealer. Wow.
How was that?
Check.
That is really good, but scary. Check is good.
Same place, Sheffield.
Oh, yeah.
You don't want to chase the king?
I didn't have a club. She had a She had a pretty good club. Right?
Thank you.
You're right.
Wow. Really good club over there.
Where is it?
40.
40.
All right, let's see what happens. 35 more?
Correct. 3 players. $50.
I got a pair. Pocket fours.
You got it?
I have to pay $35 to see the flop.
Hey, I think Casino will.
Are you kidding? And you want to stay here? We don't believe you. You believe him? You had pocket fours?
I had pocket fours. What do you think I called before the flop with?
No, I just think that you don't want to go out because you said you were going to leave.
No, I did have pocket fours. But there was no 4 on the flop and $50 to try to raise them off whatever the hell you had. Ace 10. That's 3 again, like half
3 players.
There's what we needed. Unless you had pocket 10s.
Three players. $60.
Yeah, I'll say, yeah.
Time.
Okay.
You're not going to give your friend some of your food?
You lead the horse to water, but you can't push him to drink.
can order them something.
Can I reload?
No, he said he has paperwork.
Thank you.
Okay. I'm just going to
Lines, please.
and then I turn it in. Yeah, if I can't find it, then I'll just bring you on, okay, babe?
Yep.
That was a good river card for you.
Thank you. I got 200.
What the hell is that?
Yeah, what's two different decks doing?
Woman.
Huh.
Can I look at least?
Just give me this card.
How many aces do you need?
It's a misdeal, isn't it?
What the hell? Yeah, it's a misdeal.
Hold on. I'm going to get the plumber.
Oh yeah.
I thought my eyes looked color, you know, was doing the deal on me.
How many hands y'all dealt?
It's like, what the hell was that?
Is that a new setup?
There been 6 aces in the deck. What card was it?
I'm getting used to both of them.
9 3, 3 of spades. And
No, we're going to have a brand new setup come right now.
Thing didn't come on the board. On the river.
We could have been playing with it for half an hour. We don't know. We've been playing with the same
What was
deck.
that card?
I didn't see what it was. What was it?
Yeah, it's probably how you get your 9 on the river.
9-3 off suit. What?
So that's probably how you get your 9 on the river.
It was
That was the other
deck.
deck.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah, whatever.
Oh. That's how we're going to do this.
I had a set.
You did?
I was on a flush draw that missed. So was he. Mine was higher than his.
Nuts?
I had king high.
Did you
But
think I was
I figured
bluffing?
I figured you for jack or queen.
Wait,
high.
really? Did you think I was bluffing?
I was going to re-raise you all in. Would you have called with a flush on the board?
You
And
should
a
have
pair?
done it.
I don't know if you would have done it or not.
40.
What is this?
Flush
You
and
get
raise
2
at
different
40.
suited cards and then you make it 40?
Is it the same thing?
No, this time you don't have 2 different suited.
Alright, cool. I just want to make sure.
No call player.
Was that a legitimate raise?
Yes, mine were red.
What?
Mine were red.
Same hand?
No.
Options.
I just couldn't tell how high your flush
6
draw
players.
was. But I figured my king high was good.
Yeah.
Or I wouldn't have kept calling you. Raise.
75. Put that up.
Benefit of being the button, huh? Said the benefit of being the button.
Yeah, I was present when I'm bluffing style, but I'm going to get rebluffed. Nah, yeah, that's it. Got it.
25.
Raise it. 20 to call.
Gotta love your positioning. Leading is best for. I know, I feel you.
What? I didn't hear what you said.
Leading here. Don't be a party pooper.
Come on, make it a family pot.
6 players.
50.
Three players.
Yeah, it's not bad for a live game. Live game chat mode. Usually it's pretty bad.
Check.
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 100.
You got me.
Where'd it go?
Go.
I have an ace.
Check.
Saved by the bell.
Man, I can't believe you called that.
I was just worried he was going to call.
I can't believe you called that, man. I figured I could both you guys both out of the pot. This guy's an animal.
You're fun to play with.
Thank you, bro. Small blind, okay? Thanks, bro.
I don't know how you call stuff like that.
What happened when
Where sometimes I feel like you're trying to give away your money.
Did I win a hand? When I was
All I needed was a four of diamonds.
I know, and you know what? I thought for a second you might have it.
And then what?
I thought you didn't.
Take a 10.
Small friendly raise.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, boy, I tell you what, you squeeze out of them. You squeeze
Five
them.
players.
You squeeze them out of them.
Check.
We got rid of two guys at least.
Three players.
Oh, I like that card.
50.
That's a damn good pot. On that friendly raise of yours?
Damn good bet. Like they want to drop out.
That's the first part.
What?
Taken from you.
Yeah, but I didn't call all the way. Don't worry.
That's good enough for me, you know. At least I got $20 out of it.
The only thing I had was A6. Yes, you did.
That's
Can I have it back?
Huh?
Can I have it back?
Oh, pleasure.
Man, I can't believe it. It's a good call. Shit, you almost won the pot.
I always make a little deposit because it always collects interest.
Oh, you owe me a lot of money.
40.
40.
Oh.
That guy from Louisiana is
I think you
shady.
pulled one off.
No, I only pulled, yeah.
Okay.
I pulled one from Italy and tried to
Sorry.
get it off. I'm trying to get you some if you want it.
You always raise your button?
35
No.
million.
Correct.
I don't.
You sure do like to raise 40, though?
I don't know. It seems like a good number. I like even numbers.
Yeah.
Three players.
All right, who's got the highest hand right now? Ain't a very big pot.
I think I got him if he's got ace 10.
40.
My fault. Your pocket sixes?
Pair of jacks is good.
Holy shit.
Oh.
I couldn't have been deuce ace king. I'm right where I'm supposed to be. You're right where you're supposed to be.
Oh, you're just trying to milk us that time. You're trying to get an extra 40.
I don't know what he thinks I'm raising with. Do you think I'd raise you with, like, you know...
I had a pocket pair. I was hoping for a set to break you. Didn't really care what you were raising with. If you want me to be brutally honest.
I figured you raised with at least
All right,
a pair.
well,
I didn't know
to
you were
be brutally honest, I wanted you to pay $40 to see the flop. 15.
You did well.
You know I'm pot coming.
I know, me too.
Oh man, this is gonna be a good one. Yeah.
I wish I had seat 9 though. Seat 9 seems like it's a hot one.
7 players. That's 40.
80.
80.
You gentlemen have fun.
Get a 4-bet me.
Call, what is it, 40?
Yep. Standard 40.
I got a king. Holy shit.
Nice hand. Nicely played.
Raise your 100.
What a friendly guy.
I just called you.
That's what I said. What a friendly guy.
Well, you can play a little
You
different
could
style.
have taken a little bit more.
What?
You could have squeezed it for a little bit more. But you were scared of the king. What a friendly guy.
25.
Yeah, always count that guy's money.
Yeah, always count mine.
Five players.
Well, man, can he have his iPod on his
No.
Skype?
He doesn't have it on.
It's not on.
Okay.
That's why I can't hear anything from anyone, you know?
Yeah, you know, as soon as you took it out,
Honey, I'm home.
giving you the wrong information.
It's not coding us properly. Though. I spent $1,000 on fixing the iPod to transceiver and
For the car. You can get a transmitter for the car, radio show.
I have it.
I'm all in. All in. 300.
Audio book and stuff.
You call
Get
it.
that.
How much is it?
Ace is good.
This is good.
How much?
300. 380.
What?
No. Doesn't price, huh?
No.
Only 5 included.
How much more?
280.
380 more.
Yeah, but 280 more here.
So that plus 280.
That plus 280.
Nice parts. Finally you got me. My friend has been sitting here catching nothing.
Right?
That's correct.
I haven't been able to hit anything with ace queen all night long.
Everything was that good.
Small ones.
I'm surprised it went all in.
Top pair and a straight draw.
Yeah, but come on. What's straight? You could have been drawing
I
there.
don't know. I had queen. I had 9-10.
50.
50. 2 players. Come on. All in.
I call. Oh, I smoked it. King 4.
Take a play.
After that pot, to pick up aces is sweet, huh?
You're not the big blind.
Like that. Everybody puts you on tilt.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm glad I didn't get pocket 8s or something like that.
More? Correct. Four players.
See that you play at full tilt?
Sometimes. Ultimate bet.
Ultimate bet? Yeah, what do you play?
What's your
Check. Everything?
No, I don't play anything on ultimate.
No, you don't.
I don't know. Just something about Phil Hellmuth.
No. Ultimate bet, a lot of sharps. Poker stars.
Yeah?
The best.
I just play, whatever.
Where you get the jacket from?
Take care, players.
At the store.
At the store?
Online.
Online.
The points and stuff. It's like ultimate bet.
One just missed.
No, I know, but I don't pay for mine.
One just missed? You missed?
It's just points.
Huh?
Oh.
You play and you get points.
Missed.
Yeah, I know.
It's the same.
I get when I go to the tournament.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, I placed a couple of times the tournament.
Yeah, very nice.
So they give me free stuff every time
Had a little food in
I
there.
see Annie or Antonio. Bullshit. Mr. BS. Let's make it a friendly 15.
Raise it to
You
15.
hooked me last time on that friendly
Yeah,
15.
Let's see if we can get any more money out of this guy.
Okay, 4 players.
If you raise strong, I fold. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
If you catch it.
Bet 10. All 10 and raise it 40 more.
Calling your bluff.
I wonder what they're saying about us right now.
I don't know why you would raise that. With me sitting
I know, I didn't know
behind
you were going to call.
Heads up.
You, I'm going to check you, sir.
None of us 50 again.
Bet 50.
What were you raising with?
You'll get paid to see it.
Yeah, I just don't understand what you would raise with.
Thank you.
Maybe his two-pair got counterfeit.
Right, if he folds, I would have won the card. Am I right? No, that's really bothered me a lot. It kept me his ace-10.
Four players. Check. Bet 20. Heads up. Full check.
sevens.
And we are back. I hope you enjoyed the table talk portion of our show. My name is Bart Hanson, and I am joined for the last 2 hours with David Tuckman. How are you doing tonight, Dave?
I am excellent. And you?
Great. Of course, we are doing a new game tonight. The second day it's been spread. The 300 min, 500 max, buy-in, no limit game.
Oh, wow.
5 and 5 blinds.
5 and 5 blinds.
Yep.
That's great. 300, 500 spread, huh?
And I think it really fills the void between... There was a rather big void between the 200 game and the 500 min game.
Yeah, definitely. And most of these players, are they buying it for 500 or 300?
You know, the table started early, so they were pretty deep. But I would imagine that most players would buy in for 500. But, you know, it wouldn't necessarily be a bad thing to buy in for 300.
What you guys call?
Seat 7's going to raise here. He's got deuce 4 offsuit from the button. And seat 1 and seat 2 both call with ace rag offsuit. And seat 3 calls with queen 3 offsuit. So kind of loose table here so far.
Yeah, with only $5 blinds, I guess they're looking to hit it big.
It was a $20 raise. Well, deuce 4 is flop the best hand. He's got a deuce. Flop is 6 deuce king.
He's on the button, and he's going to bang it.
And I don't think he's going to get a caller here. Looks like he bet about $50. And he's going to take it down. If you're gonna raise from the button with rags and you hit a little bit of a flop there, and everyone checks to you, why not fire out at it, right?
Oh yeah, without a doubt.
You cannot show it.
Thank you.
You gotta go watch it on camera.
You gotta pay them. Right.
So how long you gonna be here?
Blind?
How long? I'll be off and on around the area 4 months.
4 months.
Probably be off more.
Quite a bit of discussion on 2+2 tonight, more so than usual about commentary. We had a guest commentator in here earlier, Brian.
Oh, did you?
Yes.
We're gonna play Straddle the next time.
Brian, the guy who used to prop here?
He used to prop here, yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay.
4-way action here.
I'll give you action.
Check.
Queen Jack 9, offsuit.
Bet 10.
Seat 1's going to lead $10 with his jack. And looks like he's going to get a call from seat 7 with top pair.
He's in bad shape because they share the 3.
And seat 9 is called.
Look at that, they hit the 3.
Gut shot.
They both hit 2 pair on the turn.
Yeah.
This could be some fireworks here.
Jack 3 leads for 20.
What is it?
40.
And he's just going to double the size of the bet here, Dave, and raise it up to 40. Looking at about $140 pot here.
And Jack 3 is in real bad shape.
River's a 6. He checks. That is a third spade there on the river there, Dave.
Yeah.
So.
You can't do that.
Can't do that.
You might think the guy was betting a 10 here, but that wouldn't hurt anything.
I didn't grab enough chips.
No, Dave. This guy, he went to bet.
That's what you have. But you had certain amount. You have to take some of the chicks. Yeah. You can't go on forward. You should have bet the amount that you had.
Or say how much you want to bet.
So,
You can't make double move.
No.
Okay, I wanted to bet 60. I only had 40 in my hand.
Yeah, you had about 16 in his hand.
All right, then never mind then. No, you don't have to call. Just turn your hand over.
All right, then he's agreed to check it down on the end.
That's fine. If everybody argues.
And Queen 3 is... And the sad thing about this is that if he sees Jack 3, he definitely would have probably gotten some sort of call there on the end. Now, what had happened was that he went to bet, Dave, and then he pulled back because he claims that he didn't have enough chips in his hand. And the easiest way to not have that problem is to say how much you're going to bet, and then all bets are off, pretty much. And people were calling string bet on him. I don't exactly know what the ruling would have been on that, but he just agreed to check it down at the end. So.
Generally, it's best to just take your time.
And go back. Or you can say something before you take your time.
Exactly.
Give me pocket ace.
We have the Stars and Stripes going on right now. Tonight's tournament is Limit Hold'em, $100 buy-in. tomorrow night we've got a 7-card stud high-low tournament. The entry is only $100. And the Stars and Stripes will go on all the way through till May 1st. And all buy-ins, tournaments start at 7:15 p.m. except for weekends, Saturday and Sundays, which start at 4:15.
King 9 offsuit from the button here, seat 9. He's raised to $35. Seat 3 is going to call. He's pretty well dominated there with King 4 suited. So it's King 9 offsuit against King 4 suited. Heads up, pot's about $80.
Not a very good flop for King 4 of hearts, huh?
No, but the flop is Ace 3 Queen of clubs. And the King of clubs is going to lead there. He has the best hand all the way anyways, and he's going to take it down. $75 bet.
I always find it interesting when people show one card. Just
I
kind
do
of
too.
the other one's garbage.
Let's do it.
Fly straddle.
I feel like
I'm always a big fan of showing the worthless card, making them think.
Well, he likes to say choose one also. And then you've got a 50-50 chance that it's going to be a card that may or may not have helped someone think that they had the right read on him or something.
Is that a straddle or is that a raise?
It's the first time somebody else straddles at the table.
So we got a straddle here from seat 3. And Dave, he's got a legitimate hand. He's got King, Queen of diamonds. He's going to have an option when it comes back. Let's see what he does here.
All right, let's go. I'll let you guys.
He's going to check it. And we've got 5-way action here. Pot is $50. 6-way action. Flop is 5-3-7. Rainbow.
At 30.
Now King Queen's going to lead here. Again, this pot was unraised.
Actually, I think seat 4 bet. And he bet with the pair of fives.
You're right. And actually, he was in the big line. I'm sorry.
Exactly.
I thought he was the straddler.
And wow, he gets a call from Queen 6 going for the gut shot.
30.
See if he calls again, going for the gut shot.
Well, he has a pair in the same gut shot, and he bets 30, and he's going to get a call again here.
Right.
River's a queen,
Oh,
and
wow.
that's actually going to give Queen 6 the best hand.
What a river.
Wow.
Well, he had 3 outs for the win there, and he got it.
And he got it. And if he had completed his straight, obviously it would have been a chop.
Right, exactly.
I was feeling lucky.
You got lucky.
Good job.
Hey, don't forget you can subscribe now for the archives. Still only $14.95, and for that you can get all the past shows, future shows. Great learning tool. You also get access to a Howard Letter Hold'em video.
Limp.
Raise up to 20.
And the button's going to raise to 20. He's got a 6-3 offsuit here.
Time.
Fun.
Seat 5 has got Ace 4 offsuit.
15 more?
Hold on, time.
Oh, I'm sorry.
And he's linked from early position. He's going to call.
It's all right. It's not your fault. Go ahead. Your next time.
And
Not mine either.
seat 7's already called out of turn. And seat 9 joins the party, and seat 1 joins the party.
That's an interesting mix. You get some really good players because they're playing a little up.
5 players.
And get some players that are a little less experienced that are still, for the first time, trying to move up a little bit.
Check.
And not a spade among the 5
No one's
hands.
got a spade here, Dave.
Yeah.
Seat 5 has got a wheel draw. Seat 7's got a wheel draw. No one has a king either. And it looks like seat 2, who was the original raiser, has the best hand.
Song.
With a pair of 3s.
Easy song.
And it's a $120 pot right now.
And wow, he's going to bet $60 on his
3.
Hey, why not? Probably going to take it down.
Yeah, I don't think that anyone really can call here. And look at that, he's going to take down a $120 pot. Another example of how someone from the button is raised kind of with rags, hits a flop, it gets checked to him, and he throws in a bet and he takes it down.
Well, yeah. Well, they give you credit for having a hand, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And if a king flops and they don't have the king, then hey.
Well, that's a similar type of situation that, I say when a three suited board flops with an ace, if someone doesn't have top pair or at least a high one of those suits, if you bet, you're going to win the pot.
Oftentimes, yeah, especially if it's on the button and it's getting checked to you.
Raise up to 20.
Get a raise there from Brennan.
He's got 4-5 offsuit. Seat 5's got a king-queen suited. And it goes, looks like it goes check here on the flop. Flop is 8 ace king. Turn is a 5.
This is interesting. 4-5 raises.
40.
Has position, but doesn't take advantage of it.
When high card's flopping.
Yeah.
Well, he's hit a 5 here on the turn. And he's going to take it down. So I would assume he's probably was just trying to make a steal raise there, Dave. Didn't want to see a flop.
Right, obviously. We got a chip count now brought to you tonight by Joker Gaming as of 8 o'clock. Seat 1, you got Brennan there with $900 in chips. Doesn't look like he quite has that much, but he might have a couple of purples or whites snuck in there. Seat 2's got $750. That's Song. Seat 3, we've got Jose with $750. Seat 4, we've got Daniel, and he's got $650. Seat 6 is Greg, wearing the Carson Palmer jersey with 900 in chips.
That's seat 5 there. There we go.
Oh, seat 5, thank you.
Yep.
I'm skipping right over there. And that's Greg Wong. Seat 6 is Ken Tierney, and he's got $450 in chips. Get back to it in a second here.
We'll finish up after the hand.
So we have a flush draw there.
Flop is deuce 9-5, 2 clubs. Seat 5, I believe, led for $20. He's got a flush draw. Excuse me, he checked. I'm sorry. Seat 7 was the one that led. He's got a gut shot straight draw. Seat 9 is called with 5.
5 players.
And looks like we've got a bunch of callers in here.
Oh,
So
yeah.
it's about a $150 pot right now.
Well, seat 2, Song does have an open-ended straight draw.
Turn is a queen of spades.
That's help to nobody here.
Everyone check.
And the river is a king.
River's a king, and that's no help for anybody either. The best hand is still actually.
I was going to say, what is the best hand here?
Seat 9's got 4-5. He's got a pair of 5s.
Wow. Pretty difficult to see with all those cards out there.
10 high.
4-5's going to take it down. Wow. About a $150 pot.
This is one of those times where it's really important to, if you're going to bluff at it, continue bluffing at it, because anybody could have taken that pot down. That's a
Yeah.
We're looking at about a $100 pot there.
Well, I think it's actually a little more than that. 120. Seat 7 led with his gut shot and then kind of shut down with an overcard that came there on the turn. Didn't get a bet and got checked down on the river there too.
You realize that any of you bet I would have folded.
And seat 6 there is actually not Greg anymore. It's Patrick. Ken, I'm sorry. It's Patrick now, and he still has $450 in chips there.
And seat 9, who just took the hand down, said if anybody would have bet, I would have folded. So there you go.
Yeah. Seat 7 there's Don.
So it's a blind.
Seat 7's Don, and he's got
blind. They're both 5-5.
and he's got $600 in chips. Seat 8 is Eugene with $300 in chips, and seat 9 is Jacob.
Yes.
Just won the hand there. He's got about $1,000 in chips.
Comes in between.
Of course, sometimes it looks like they might not have that many chips, but they have got a stack of purple, and that, of course, that's about $500 there. Too.
Exactly.
So, purples are $25 chips, yellows are 5s.
You gotta do some gambling.
Small blind doesn't have to complete in this game, Dave. 5 and 5.
8 players.
5 and 5 blind. 8-way action here. $40 pot. Ace, Jack, Ace. And you know what, Dave? No one has an ace.
No,
8-way
Jose's got
action.
the Jack.
No one has an ace.
Jackpot hand?
Flop is Ace,
Another
Jack,
eight.
Ace. Turn is a 9 of hearts.
Check.
I don't think I can bluff this one.
And Jose's not going to fire. He still has a Jack there. He's not firing though.
Check around.
Put a deuce out there.
There's a deuce.
That's me.
There's a deuce.
You went with the deuce?
So again, seat 3, Jack 6 has got the best hand.
Okay, turn them up.
Pretty passive play here, huh, Dave?
This is a 9.
Extremely.
Got a jack over here. Jacks.
Well, like you said, this is it's like a segue from the 200 game to the 500 game. And you get a mix of a couple of players that might be more aggressive, but
You want to trade for 100?
you got players that are traditionally more $200 players playing with a lot more money now.
Yep.
So they might be a little more nervous about, putting their money on the stake up there, up the grabs.
Why couldn't you put a 10?
You needed a 10-10?
Once again, this is a
And you're the other
spread
blind.
$300 to $500 no limit game. Combined for any amount between $300 and $500. Blinds are 5 and 5. And we are live at the bike, unscripted, unrehearsed, and unedited.
Limp, 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 limp.
35.
Well, big blind's going to raise here. He's got king, queen, offsuit.
30 more, please.
Can be a difficult hand to play out of position here. But if he can take the pot down right now, it's not too bad of a move. But we've been seeing a lot of people just call with anything here, Dave, so far. And he's going to get action.
4 players.
4-way action. Seat 2 with Jack 10 suited. Seat 3 with Doyle Brunson hand, 10 deuce. Calling a $35 raise.
Yeah, Jose's gambling there. Nobody's got an 8 or a 6.
Let's see if this continue with this passive play that we've seen when no one hits anything on the board.
And sure enough, we do.
Now comes the queen. Well, the original raiser here, seat 9, has hit his queen. He's hit top pair. And now he's going to bet $50.
These are those kind of games you really dream of. He bets when he has a hand. He checks when he doesn't have a hand.
I haven't seen anybody, of course, my big pet peeve in these games, I haven't really seen anybody have trips or flop sets to see how they would play. And normally I criticize a lot of times the 200 game when people don't bet out their strong hands. We did see a guy get he did get caught with trips. Someone outdrew him earlier in the show. But definitely a pretty passive game. This is the type of game you like to play in a no-limit game.
Well, how can you not like this game? If you can't beat a passive no-limit game, then well, you're not going to win much money in poker.
Yeah.
I mean, this is checking and calling and betting when you have it.
6 players.
Well, limp, 6-way action again. $30 pot. Flop is a 5, 4, queen.
Couple clubs. Not a club in the board. Nobody has a club anymore, though.
Looks like seat 7's got a queen here, and he's going to lead. He's got queen 10.
We got to get this game out of the mud, guys.
You see how traditional it is there. You see it's pretty much basic, He has top pair, he bets.
There we go. Got one coming.
Seat 9's got an open-ended, so he'll call. Not a big fan of calling open-ended with 2 clubs on the board, but okay.
Well, yeah, we've talked about that before. Yeah. So it's heads up, open-ended against the top pair here.
And that's not any help.
Well, turn is a 9.
He's going to check. He's going to bet his queen. Very predictable.
Looks like he's going to bet about 100 here.
And
excuse me, 80.
$80. And good lay down there by Brennan.
Deuce 3 mucks his hand.
He's got to know that, obviously, not getting the odds to call there.
And again, like we said, a lot of people don't realize that not only if you hit your straight card of the 3rd suit, not only do you not know if your hand is good, but even if it is, you might not get a lot of action that you'd want. Working into the fact, the reason why you called is because, working in odds, how much am I going to get paid off?
Well, exactly, right. And in that case, he's actually pretty deep, and if he hits the ace, he might get paid off pretty well if the other guy had like 2 pair or something.
Right.
But if it's an ace of clubs, yeah, you're completely right there.
Yeah.
Somebody's going to go,
you got a flush.
Right.
Damn, he outdrew me again. Well,
that's what we usually look for. We usually look for the clubs or the whatever the flush card is.
Right.
Got a modest raise here out of Don.
Looks like he's got 8-9 offsuit, seat 7.
8-9 offsuit, huh?
Seat 9 is calling here a $15 raise with 3-9 suited, Dave. And it's 5-way action.
5-way action, so we've got a $75 pot already.
Even though it was raised, it still seems like a very passive game where people are not making any types of moves.
Well, it's a check call game, and 2 players have actually hit top pair here.
And actually, seat 9's got 3-10, and he's got 2 pairs, and he checks it from the button. It's 3 deuce 10, and a 3rd heart comes on the turn. So 2 pairs from the button has checked. And now seat 3
we get
is
a bet
going
out
to
of seat 3
with the deuce. He's got king deuce.
And you can look at seat 9. He's already got the chips in his hand to call. Those are some things you can look for when you're playing. Obviously, you can't do it on the internet, but if you're playing in a live game, you can kind of use your side vision, their peripheral vision, and see what they're going to do.
And now a 4th heart comes on the river, and that's going to give 8-9 the best hand.
The original raise. Actually, seat 1's got 10 hearts.
Oh, you're right. I'm sorry. Seat 1 has got the 10 of hearts.
And this will probably get checked down. See if anybody's got the guts to bet it.
Everybody calling.
10.
He's going to bet 10.
Wow, and he gets a call from the 2 pair.
He's going to get a call from 2 pairs. And seat 1's got the best hand here. And look at this, though. Seat 3's going to make a move. He is check raising here, Dave.
I like the play.
And let's see if it works. He's going to check raise $100.
I like the play. It's tough for
It's very, very difficult for a 9 or a 10 of hearts to call here.
Well, especially the 9 because he's got 2 players behind him to act.
Yeah.
But the 10 might be able to call because he's last to act.
100 total?
No, 90 more.
I would like to see a bigger bet, to be honest with
You're
you.
right. 100.
Look at this. He's going to call, and we actually might see seat 1.
Yeah, well, seat 1, he almost has to muck his hand.
And he's going to muck, and he mucks the best hand. And he's going to be very, very irritated.
Flush. Hand it here.
Seat 1 has got to be kicking himself there.
2 pair.
But you can't blame the guy for laying it down, right, Dave, with an overcaller in between you?
Without a doubt. When one guy raises 100 and the other guy overcalls you, you figure, maybe one of them's got the ace or the king, the other one's got the queen. I mean, you're probably beating both places.
That is just... Whew. It's a gutsy call by the 9 of hearts. Again, like you said, with people that act behind you that cold called your bet.
Yeah.
I
mean, Jose, the only thing Jose did there, I liked his instinct. His instinct was, everybody's pretty weak. Let me see if I can steal this pot. He just forgot to bet enough. Because the pot was already about $120
Yeah.
or so. And he only raised 90.
Yeah.
Now, if he had bet 200, hey, that's a tough... I think he might take it down.
And Dave, what about the guy from the button calling with 3-10, hitting 2 pairs, and then checking it on the flop?
That's just,
and then calling when the 3rd heart comes on the turn, and then calling again when the 4th heart comes.
He gave the pot away, pretty much. He gave away pot away, and he knows it.
Seat 6 is raised here. He's got ace 8 of clubs.
And Brendan's Jacob's gonna leave right now.
Seat 7 is cold call with pocket 10s. It's a $35 raise. Seat 5's got king 9 of diamonds. It looks like he's gonna call as well.
And this is a $35 pot raise?
Yep. So the pot's over $100 right now.
$110 right now.
Yeah.
And the king 9 has spiked the king
25.
there.
Greg from seat 5, he's got the best hand.
Donning the Carson Palmer jersey.
25.
And seat 6 is led in here with ace 8 for 25. He's got a caller from pocket 10s for 25. And let's see what Greg does here in seat 5 with top pair. He check raises, Dave. He's going to check raise.
Well, he's got to find out where he's at. He's got to find out if his king is any good or not here. And he's going to find out really quick that it is.
Well, pocket 10s is thinking about it. Thinking about calling here. It looks like it's an additional $100 to call.
And this really should be a pretty easy laydown. I mean, when you get 2 callers, a king flops, and you get action from all 3 players, odds are somebody's got a king there.
Yeah.
I mean, good laydown there.
It's kind of, Dave, in that situation that we saw a couple hands before, it's happened to me before too, where you have somebody in the middle and you don't know how strong they are, and they call like $100 check raise with the 9 of hearts, and now I lay down the best hand, and I know it's the right lay down, but it still irritates me because of the guy in the middle.
Yeah. It's very irritating.
Yeah.
So it's time for to start winning, right?
It's one of those things. Maybe he would have called if everybody else had folded because he's last in action, but last act.
Right.
15.
Well, new player in seat 9. It looks like he's going to raise. He's going to raise 15. He's got ace jack offsuit.
Discipline.
Seat 3 in the small blind has ace king, so he's in good shape. But it's heads up, ace jack against ace king.
We got a new player there in seat 9, and it's actually seat 8 there. Eugene has actually moved over to seat 9.
Well, the flop is 3, 9, 10, 2 diamonds.
Let's see who fires out of here.
And the turn pairs the board with the 10. And it gets checked again, Dave. You're right. Passive play here.
And look at that.
And 3 comes on the river.
Now they're going to chop it up.
Ace.
Now they're going to chop it up.
Unbelievable. Huh. 2 pairs, of course, 10s and 3s with an ace. Well, I was going to say that, if you've got ace king and you've got ace jack, obviously ace king is a better hand, but, I was going to say, well, I like seat 9's chances here, because if you don't have anything that flops that's a king or an ace, then he can use his position to win the hand. But in that case, he didn't.
Right. Hey, if you think you can beat the game, come on down. We are in Bell Gardens, about 15 miles south of Los Angeles. If you need more information, give us a call.
Raise the wrong time and call the wrong time. You raise.
Or you can get all the information you want at thebike.com.
Look at this. It's limped around again here.
8 players.
8-way action. $40 pot.
Check.
Flop is 3, 4 jack.
Now, interesting there. Jose just limped in on the button with King Queen. Now on the button, it's a nice hand to sometimes add a little money to the pot there.
Now seat 7 is leading here. He's got Queen Deuce of diamonds, so he has a flush draw. Again, the flop is 4, 3 jack, 2 diamonds.
Heads up.
And he gets a call out of Patrick there with pocket sixes.
Check it.
And Patrick checks.
25.
Queen Deuce has picked up a pair now.
He's picked up a pair and the flush draw.
Got a lot of outs. Any diamond, any 2, or any queen is going to give him the pot.
Pocket sixes continues to call here, Dave. He's got a gut shot now.
Another deuce. There you go.
And then his trips on the river.
And this is
strong bet.
This is a tough hand. If you put him on a jack, it's easy to get away from. But if you think your hand is good, you don't think the second deuce is going to hurt your hand.
No, it's not. And it's a $100 bet if you think he's got a busted flush draw.
I mean, he correctly put him on a diamond draw probably, but at this point now he's going, oh, shoot.
If you like money, don't call, sir. Okay? If you like money, honestly, don't call.
He says if you like money, don't call.
And you know what? I've actually found that 9 out of 10 players that say that are being honest.
And he's going to muck the hand. And he shows the hand there, too, Dave. Seat 6.
And I love playing against a guy like Don there. Not only does he, a really nice guy, obviously, he lets the guy off the $40 bet before when he had the 2 pair, and the other guy had 2 pair. And then here, you know, the guy's contemplating calling, and he lets him off the hook.
Convinces him not to call, yeah.
And
it shows
him the hand.
Right.
Hey.
Maybe that was one of those times where I'd show one card and it would be the Queen of Diamonds, Dave. Because it'd be very difficult to put me on Queen 2, right? You might have me on Queen Jack, but...
He said, fine. He's...
Seat 9 has got Ace Jack of spades. He's limped in.
If you have any questions or comments, please email us at live@thebike.com.
Button's got King 8 suited, and he's raised to 45. Probably a little bit of a steal raise there, Dave. I don't think he wants to see a flop. And Seat 9's going to call. Ace Jack.
The one thing I've noticed about raising on the button, with pretty much anything, is if everybody else misses, they're gonna give you credit for a real hand.
Right.
And if they miss, you'll probably be able to steal it.
$145 pot, 3-way action.
Just count down, make sure that's not 95.
And he flops. He flops the best hand.
Well, he flops the king, but Ace Jack has got the spades. And this is a classic case where people will check raise here with the board paired with a flush draw. He's going to bet 70. Let's see what Ace Jack of spades does here.
The guy asked me for a change. I said no.
Yeah, he's going to push all in, and I just felt that coming, Dave. I really did. He's going to check raise all in.
Oh, he's in there?
He's going to check raise all in. And you just see this move so much more with a flush draw as opposed to actually having fives, trip fives. Normally it's...
Yeah.
You know,
I'm not a big fan of the play, but hey, it might work.
180 more.
180 more. Now remember, he had bet about $100 there, so the pot is already $220, $230, so it's $180 more for the guy.
You got about a $400 pot here. He's got to call about $180 to win $400.
Right, including the extra $180 right.
And look at that, he gets him to throw out of the best hand.
So it was laying him
nice play,
over 2-1.
Yeah, but he probably figured he could be drawing dead if the guy's 5.
Right.
And close to dead, at least. Obviously not dead. You run around our kings, but
I took my shot.
But I think he was looking at it going, I'm beaten so many ways. This guy either has a 5 or he's a king with a better kicker than I have. I don't think he put him on spades.
You save half. You get the same result.
No, because sometimes you can get, people calling with a draw.
But I'm just saying that time.
There was a flush draw out there too. I don't want to.
Well, Seat 9's actually picked up the same hand, this time diamonds. Ace Jack suited, and he's going to limp in again.
Well, it's an okay hand, Ace Jack. It's in no limit. It's very vulnerable.
5-way action.
Actually, obviously suited much better than non-suited.
Check.
Seat 7's got top pair here. And seat 1 has top pair.
And Eugene in seat 9 has picked up a gut shot. He needs a 10 for the straight.
So 7's bet 15. The king with the better kicker has called 15. And it's heads up. King 7 against King 5. About a $60 pot. Well, it's turned into a chop-chop here, Dave.
Yep.
Turn is a 6.
And this is a chop.
Wow, look at this. Now both of them have got 6s full of kings. Would this be the type of time where you might actually try to take your position and bet someone off a hand where you have the same hand?
Without a doubt.
And they both check it down. Wow.
If a guy's checking to me on that spot, I know he doesn't have a 6.
Right.
I know I can't lose the hand. I'm going to bet.
Yeah.
And the pot was relatively small, $60 pot, and I'm not saying that you would, how much would you like to bet there? Would you push all in there?
That's what I'm saying. You might overbet the pot and really make it where it's like
you could throw in $200 there on the river and get the same hand to muck, right?
Obviously, you could get called by it. 4 6s, you're taking that risk.
Right, but
it's a small risk, and if you completely overbet the pot, even if you bet $400,
right,
somebody might look and go, $400, and he looks at the pot and goes, well, at best, I'm going to split it.
Yeah.
I'm going to risk $400 to win 30.
To win 30, right. I think it's a perfect opportunity where when you're in early position, you have an advantage. One of those rare cases when you're in an advantage in early position.
I like to do that as well when if the board is a straight. There's a straight on the board, and I'm pretty sure it's going to be a flop.
I fail to care, you know.
Chop pot. I got to do that then.
So you could jump over.
Well, seat 7's picked up an open-ended straight draw.
And Eugene's picked up a second pair.
No, this is after the flop.
The seat 9's got the best hand with 7 deuce. He was in the big blind, I think.
See if he fires at it. And he doesn't. Seat 7, there was no bet. He just folded.
He just mucked, it looked like.
Yep.
Just mucked his hand. And he had an open-ended straight draw, which is
Bet 20.
very interesting.
Yeah, I guess he just didn't want to get himself in trouble.
Oh.
And seat 5's going to steal it there with Jack Deuce.
Wow. You have an open-ended straight draw there and just didn't.
He had 5-4, right?
Yeah, he had 4-5. Wow.
Okay. Well, couldn't get himself in trouble at least.
I guess. Well, if you muck, you're not going to get in trouble. I would go to say that just from what I've seen in the first few hours, that this game is playing much more like a 200 game than it is a 500 mid game.
Oh,
right?
extremely.
Yeah.
Very much so. Even though there are more chips on the table.
Again, multi-way action. Flop is 9, King, 8, rainbow. And no one's got any bit of it here, it doesn't look like.
No, seat 1's got a gut shot. Brennan's got a gut shot.
Pocket 2's is in the lead here. Seat 7. Now seat 5 has got the best hand with 5-3.
See if he tries to fire at it again. And surprisingly, he doesn't fire at it.
No one's fired at it.
Nobody's going to take his stab at
Jane,
it.
check.
And even says there, nobody's going to take a stab. And 6 there. That's going to be this gut shot for Brennan.
Yeah, he's got seat 1's got the straight.
It's too late now.
It's too late now. Let's see what happens.
And he's going to bet 25.
But you see there, he's just betting when he got there.
Well, nobody's got
anything.
No one even has an 8, you know. It's
You get paid for your courage, sir.
Coming in.
Paid for your courage. If they only knew.
very, very, very passive play here. I would go out to say that this is probably one of the most passive tables that we've done here on the broadcast.
Yeah.
You know,
Chips, no limit.
just since you've come in.
Well, I think you know what it is. I mean, if you take a combination of players that normally play the 100, 200 game,
Right.
now they're risking a lot of chips.
A lot more money than they're used to risking.
Exactly.
Obviously.
You know, when they're sitting down in the 100 game, they feel really comfortable because, okay, what's the worst I can do is I can lose $100.
Right, or even in the 200 game too. You know.
Right.
Yeah.
But this game, suddenly, wow, I bought him for 5, and now I got 600 or 700 in front of me. That's a lot of money.
Absolutely. I think it's a great
5, right?
showing of how, you know, people are moving up. They might not be comfortable with that level, and see how it affects their play, right?
Well, without a doubt. Without a doubt.
Chip. Raise 15.
Got a raise there.
He's got ace king offsuit. Seat 8's going to call with ace 7 offsuit. And again, people have, you know, been raising a little bit pre-flop here, Dave, but it just seems like everyone's just calling. You know, it's $15.
Well, it's one of those things where people are going, I'm comfortable calling 5. Okay, I'll call 15 also.
Right.
Got a new player in seat 6. Very good player, very solid player in seat 6, actually.
Well, 6 times 15.
406.
That's $90.
6 players.
Suddenly it's a nice pot already.
Yeah. Now someone's flopped 9s here at seat 5. He's got queen 9. He's got trip 9s.
And nobody else has anything. See how
he plays it. I've seen he slow played it before. He had trips before and he slow played. And it looks like he's checked.
And at a table like this, you've almost got to bet it because nobody's going to fire at it. Well, here.
Seat 6, he's got a 5. He's going to bet 30.
And I like the bet. I mean, Jay's a good player. He figures nobody's got a 9. My 5 is probably good. Well, now obviously he's going to get called here.
See if does he get check raise or just call?
Just call.
He's just going to get called.
And now Jay's not stupid. Jay's got position on the guy, and I'm sure he's going to shut down now. We'll see what happens though.
Well, that gives him a flush draw too, Dave, on the turn.
100.
And now Jay's going to bet 100.
Wow.
So he's got a pair and a flush draw.
And this is the time. What would you do if you're Greg here? Might you raise here?
Well, that might have been one of the times where I might have taken a free card from behind there, Dave, on the turn.
Yeah.
Put Greg on a pair on trips.
Well,
and then
there's nothing else there.
Right.
I don't like to bet there.
And then just taking the free card, and if he hit a spade, then Greg slow played himself into a loser. You know.
Yep.
And he just calls, so maybe he's afraid of his kicker. So he called, just flat called $100. He didn't raise. And the river's a deuce.
And this might be a time actually to check it again and see how you can induce a bluff. If you think your 9's good.
Well, he's played this hand very, very unorthodoxly, and it's just tough to put the guy on a 9. Why wouldn't he check raise me at some point?
Well,
chips.
He's going to bet $200 here on the river.
Yeah.
I think I just got rivered.
It's strangely played by both
Absolutely.
By both players there. I agree with you. I definitely would have taken the free card on the turn.
I think I would have too, yeah.
Because once the guy, with the board, sometimes you've got to think about it. When the board of 9-9-5 comes, and you bet $30, and a guy smooth calls you.
Right.
Okay, what could he have? You know, there's a 9 of spade, 9 of heart, and 5 of clubs. What is he's calling you with 7-8? Yeah, maybe he's calling you with ace-king. You don't know, but, you know, what's he calling with?
Let's see what happens here.
And Jay's actually considering calling this. Thinks his 5 is good.
Well, he says, I'm afraid I got rivered, but how can you get rivered with that flop of 5-9-9? How would it do?
I thought he was just
anything?
saying it. I thought he was just saying that. And Jay, I just told everybody you're a solid player. What have you done? Maybe he was playing the tournament tonight and he got knocked out.
Looks like he's going to call, Dave. Oh, he hasn't said it yet.
I was wondering, maybe the other guy was on a draw and he missed it.
And then he's trying to fire at it at the end, right?
Yeah, but I just don't see any draw out there.
Well, there really wasn't a draw on the flop, right?
That's what I'm saying. I mean, I just don't see the draw. And you have the spades, so the likelihood of him having spades is very slim.
Right. Because of what you're saying, I think you can safely put the guy in slow playing a 9. I really think so.
And obviously it's easier from our vantage point.
Just work the hand backwards, man, in your head, right?
Pretty much, yeah, exactly. If you work it backwards, he checked, you bet, he called. He checked, you bet, he called. What is he calling with? Again, he's calling with 100. You know, it's one thing to call $30 on the flop. I could call $30 with ace king. But when the turn comes out of 3 of spades,
and he lays it down, Dave.
There you go. Yeah. When the turn comes out of 3 of spades, and you've got the spades, and you bet $100, what is he calling you with?
Well, I think it's just very, very unorthodox that he didn't check raise on the turn, and now he bets into me on the river. Very, very strange, right?
Yeah.
Very, very strange.
You didn't have the 9?
I had the 9 out of call 3 days ago.
Maybe he had the 9.
Wow.
Maybe.
I wouldn't recommend playing trips like that.
Well, he almost got himself in trouble. You know, it would have been interesting. What I would have liked to see what you said. I would like to see Jay check it on the turn. And had the spade come, I don't think that Greg in seat 5 would have noticed it. Would have still fired the same backdoor. He still would have fired the same $200 bet, and then he would have gotten himself in a whole bunch of trouble.
Right.
But hey, didn't work out that way. And the button is in seat 2. Blinds here are $5 and $5.
And I think the point they made is that if the flop had some sort of possibility of a draw, that you might have gotten a call there from Jay on the river.
Well, that's the whole point.
You know,
You've got to work it backwards.
Right.
Hey, don't forget, you don't have to drive to Vegas to play blackjack. Come on down and play in limits from $2 to $10 in our fun zone.
Wow, Dave, I see pocket queens, I see ace king, and I see ace queen suited.
I want to play this hand anyway.
Jay's going to raise with 3-7 offsuit. Seat 7 is going to call with ace king. It's up to seat 8. He's got pocket queens. This could be a huge hand. Look at this. Seat 9 quickly mucks ace queen suited to a raise and a re-raise.
Yeah.
I actually like that play.
It's a very, very good raise. Ace queen is not very good here. And we get it down to 15.
And ace king mucks too. So
what was the raise by queens?
Looked like about $100, 80 to 100. She didn't say how much it was. The dealer of it.
One thing I will say, when you have ace king, and if you get a raise, and you're up ace king and you call, and then a re-raise, sometimes you can go, oh shoot, you know what? He might have a real hand like queens, and the first raiser might have an ace also.
Right.
Might have high cards as well.
Right. Of course, your dream would be to be up against queens and jacks, or queens and another low pair, and then have them, get 2 for the price of 1. Because
always, yeah, that's the best.
You've got ace king.
Everybody limp in?
We got a bunch of limpers here.
Well, seat 8's got pocket jacks.
And Jay is going to bump it up there.
Queen 9 offsuit.
Jay might have. I've played with Jay before. Maybe he got knocked out of the tournament or something. He's steaming a little bit. I don't know. He's really mixing up his play here.
It's funny when you said that he was such a great player, because I've played with him, and I kind of tend to disagree with you a little bit, and I wonder if maybe he got confused with another player. I don't know, but that's for everyone.
Maybe. I've played with him numerous times. I've always thought he was pretty solid.
He had an $80 hand last time.
Jacks is in the lead here. Ace 3-7 rainbow.
Not a good flop for anybody here.
25.
Jay might take it away if the ace scares the jacks.
Well, he was the original raiser.
Yeah. Gee, maybe I always gave Jay credit for more hands than I thought he had.
Pocket jacks. Yeah, pocket jacks.
Jay says he had pocket jacks.
I don't know if you just know me well or what. Yeah, I had anything but ace. I had at least ace.
He said he had at least an ace. Well, all the players have the privilege of signing up for the archives, right, Dave? Live at the
Without a doubt, hey. If I was in this game, I would go home right away and sign up for it. And I'd be like, you didn't have an ace. I'd want to find out right away.
Go ahead.
Hey, we have ongoing polls at the archives page. There was actually 55% of people preferred to play no limit hold'em.
It's just the 3 of us?
Yes.
Interesting.
I think one of us.
I thought it would be a lot higher than that, actually.
15.
Well, seat 3's flop, top 2 pairs here. Flop is ace queen 8. He's got ace queen. Jay is leading with. Jay has nothing. He leads with jack 3. It looks like here, Dave.
Jack 3.
How much?
50.
He's going to raise.
This is one of those cases where it's interesting. Jay's a pretty aggressive player. You might want to let him keep firing at it.
No, I just don't have an ace. I said one of us would have raised if we had ace.
Yeah, if your head's up there, Dave, and you don't have people behind you, or you don't have a couple of people that have called Jay in between, I think you can smooth call there, and sometimes it even represents a raise and no limit.
Right, well, exactly. If you have more than 2 players in there, it's not heads up, then you obviously want to raise because there's draws and so forth. But hey, if Jay's going to bluff at the pot, let him bluff at it.
Right. The way that we've seen these people play these restricted buy-in games, you don't give them credit for a set because they'll never bet it right off, right?
In all honesty, if he has a set and you raise, he's going to call you anyway.
Right.
It doesn't make a difference.
Yeah.
The money's going to go in the pot anyway. You have top 2.
All right, I'll limp in this time.
Hey, we've actually got a great tournament on Saturday, April 16th. We've got a no-limit hold'em $100 buy-in tournament with multi-rebuys.
20.
$50,000 guarantee. Starts at $4.15.
Now, the small blind is raised to $20 here with 4-8 suited out of seat 7.
Killing me.
I'll tell you right now. Now they're looking good.
Jay's got queen 8 offsuit.
I got to check now.
Check.
Got a rainbow out there. Nobody with an ace or a king. In a raised pot, not one player has an ace or a king. Amazing.
There's another ace on the turn.
I'm really in trouble. Check.
And queen 9 is still the best hand. Jay's going to fire at it.
It one-handed.
Let me see here. I'm really checking both dimes.
Well, now the funny thing is that smell of an overbet. Would you do that with an ace with no real draws out there, too? There is a gut shot straight
in the end,
draw.
it's really difficult for anybody to call because they just don't, nobody has anything.
Right.
That's the reason Jay's betting it. That's a good bet by Jay. Smart play. Everybody checks to him. He's on a button. Hey, I'm going to take it.
Again, Dave, I've seen time and time and again, seat 7, he raised out of the small blind to 20, which isn't going to seem to drive anybody out of this table with an inferior hand out of position. And, you can make the case that, well, you want to pick up the limpers. Well, you're going to have to raise it to a lot more than that, and I would pick my spots and not do it with 4-8 suited.
Well, if you're going to do it, at least, be consistent and fire at it on the flop then.
Fire on the flop when an ace comes, right? If you're going to raise with rags out of the small blind and you've got an ace, I think you love that. Don't you love that? When an ace comes on the flop and you've raised out of the small blind?
I mean, yeah, we're going to raise with it. Seems like the norm here is to raise with bad hands and everybody calls with better hands.
25, drop it in.
15.
Hey, check this out. We got a new free roll for our play for free players on bike.com. April 24th, we have a $2,500 prize pool and a laptop first place.
Oh, great.
All you need to redeem is 10 tournament points to enter, and you can register online at the www.bike.com.
Oh, multi-way action again.
I've got to find out if I'm eligible for that.
Seat 7 on the button has the best, he's got the best hand here with a pair of 9s, Dave.
And he's got the open-ended straight draw as well.
Seat 9 has a flush draw.
Seat 7's got everything.
He's something.
Seat 9 is going to call the flush draws. The pot lay on the outs, and he's going to call.
Seat 7, of course, like you said, he's got bottom pair and the open-ended straight draw. The river's a jack.
And this is one of those times if I have the 9, I probably just check
it down. I was going to say the exact same thing.
Right now, the people at home are saying, seat 6 must be steaming. I had jack 6 off suit. You didn't have a jack, I know that.
Well, he wasn't in the hand, though, Jay.
He wasn't in the hand, and Jay did have jack 6.
Yep.
Nobody would have believed you, too. You're betting to that.
Oh, I know. They might have put me all in. Yeah. God, this is more like it.
Well, Jay says this is more like it. He's limped. And seat 7's got pocket aces here. Right to his left. He's going to raise to $25.
It's not that far, bro, but it's...
All right, heads up, I can...
That's the hand.
Heads up, he calls with 8-10 suited.
You know what, though? This is one of those cases where implied odds. Let's see what happens.
No, well, in a no-limit game, I just thought it was funny when he said that.
Right, heads up, I want to play it.
Yeah. Well, he's picked up an open-ended straight draw here.
That's not a bad flop for 8-10 here.
Yeah. I got you, coach.
And this is one of those times I actually... It depends on what the guy has. If he has ace-king, obviously you want to fire at it. Let's see what he does here.
Well, he checks. Now, this guy does the double pump again here.
And that actually is fun. And he only bets $50. He's definitely going to call.
Jay's just going to call.
And this is a well-hidden straight. If a 7 comes, it's not going to be an obvious one.
Oh, there's a 5.
Jay's thinking, should I try to bluff this guy of ace-king maybe? And we see, obviously, that Don does not.
He also has the ace of diamonds. He's going to vastly underbet the pot again, though, here, Dave. 50 again, right? Wow. You know? It's almost giving the guy the odds to call. Oh, the river's a jack.
That's the big one.
And this is actually a scary card now. I wonder if Jay will take a shot at it. This is one of those times where you might put the guy, he called twice. You know, maybe he has a jack there, jack 10. Ace-jack.
Seemed like his mannerism, he was on a draw, though. He was putting in crying calls there.
No, I agree with you, but this is a good, sometimes when they flop top pair like that, sometimes it's scary, though, for him as well, because you put him on a jack.
So it's up to Jay. He has nothing. He's got 10 high, excuse me.
He's trying to think, what can I do to do it? And look at this.
You thought he was going to push in? Yeah.
I did. I was getting excited for him. I don't know if Don can call an all-in bet. This is curious. It's going to be it.
He checks.
He's gonna
bet 50 again. And Jay lays it down. And look at this. He shows the aces.
I love that.
Nice.
You know Don is never bluffing. I'll put it that way.
There'd
That's
be
for sure.
something courageous under there.
Thank you.
Well, I can see that the 2+2ers are kind of going wild about this game. And I think, Dave, you really hit the nail on the head when you said that these are a bunch of 200 players that are playing up, that aren't necessarily comfortable in their environment, especially as this is a new game that's just been spread the second day. And we can see how it's affecting gameplay, obviously.
Well, there's a lot of chips on. I mean, you look at the table. There's a lot of chips on the table. You get 9 players, average of probably $500-$600 a piece. You're talking almost $5,000 on the table, and that's some real money for people that are used to playing, with maybe $2,000 on the table.
Or real money for recreational players too. You don't want to lose $2,000, even if you've made $1,000 that night, right?
Without a doubt.
And again, we see multi-way action here.
We got a flop 9-7-4. Jay's actually picked up bottom 2 pair here.
Bottom 2 pairs. Shirley and I had this discussion earlier. This is a very vulnerable hand. I don't like to, definitely do not like to, to slow play this hand.
That's a rainbow flop.
Yeah, the flop
down.
The flop is not that conducive to draws, but we saw a guy check down, bottom 2 pairs. With a very, very scary flop.
In an unraised pot, it's anybody can have anything.
Right.
You gotta know that.
Everybody passed.
Everybody passed this time except for Kamikaze up in there. I gave you action with a horrible hand.
And it just seems like the raises that people have been coming in with have just acted as pot builders, because that hasn't necessarily driven anyone out of the hand.
And I don't mind doing a pot builder if I think I've got the best hand, or if I'm in position that maybe I can steal the pot from everybody else later on.
Like you said, from the button, right? And it gets checked to you and fired
Yeah,
at
in late
it.
position, exactly.
Not 5-way action here.
King Jack, the best hand I see so far. And he flops the top pair with a king kicker.
Yes, he does. And he's been pretty solid. We haven't seen him play a lot of hands, and he's going to lead with his top pair. He's going to bet $20.
And I don't think anybody else can call him here.
And he's going to take it down.
Yeah. Seat 1 had bottom pair, but that's not much.
Straddle.
Well, we're going to see a live straddle here, Dave. From Jay.
Live straddle.
So if we see a few limpers here, we're going to, have a pot of at least, $30, $40, $50.
Without a doubt.
Man, I tell you what.
This is one of those cases. It's a passive enough table that if you get 5 or 6 limpers at $10, Jay might throw in $80 or $90 and steal it.
Well, I think the key is that if he does that, he's got to make it. It's a raise big enough, and he's got to follow through on the flop too, especially if some scary cards hit.
They had one guy that
you get one caller there, and Jay's got an ace in the straddle position.
Seat 7 for some reason has forgot to show us his cards this hand. Oh, look at this. Seat 4 is doing exactly what we said. He's going to raise.
Make it 70.
And he only has ace-7 offsuit here.
Well, he sees the pot. He sees 10, 20, 30, almost $40 in the pot. He's going to take it down right now.
Look at this. C3's got 4-10 offsuit, so I don't think that.
And he did exactly what I thought he might. Yeah, he's actually a solid tournament player. I've played with Daniel before.
And really he made him raise big enough so that he's not raising to 25 after people have $10 on the pot.
Exactly.
He raised enough to drive the people out.
Right, without a doubt. Sometimes one of my favorite things to do in the 500 game, because people are a little onto you, is if you have a real hand, people always think if it's a live straddle that somebody's going to try to steal it.
Yeah.
So sometimes I really overbet the pot when I have a real hand, like, if I have aces or kings or something like that, and I'll get one caller because they think I'm full of it.
Right.
Once again, we are live at the bike. This is a no-limit hold'em game. Buy-in is $300 to $500. You can buy in for any amount from there. It's a new game we're spreading. It's only second day we spread it. And I think it will catch on. I really like it.
And look at this. Ace-King is... C3 on the button has Ace-King. He didn't raise it up.
Yeah.
He's letting all the limpers in. Not using his position there, right, Dave? And he flopped a king.
See, the problem with that is, the big blind could very easily have 9-2 here.
Right.
The big blind's got any hands. Who knows?
Well, it gets checked to him, and now he's going to lead for 25.
It's also a question of, if you have ace-king, you clearly have the best hand.
Right.
And although you're not a favorite against 4 players, that's not a bad time to do a pot builder bet and throw in $25
especially when
raise.
you're in the best position also.
Well, you're in best position, and it's also, so you're even though you're not a favorite against 4 opponents,
right.
you are the most likely to win the pot.
Absolutely.
And why not get a little more money in that pot?
Right. And because you were last to act, you can see how the hand is developing in front of you.
Exactly. Without a doubt. Now, if somebody had raised before, sometimes you might want a smooth call with ace king, but in that case, throw a raise in there. Step it up.
Let's go.
It's 5 players.
5 players. We've got a $25 pot here.
We're going to see it limped around here again.
8 deuce 3.
2 spades, 8 deuce 3.
Jay's picked up middle pair. Nobody's really got any spades to speak of.
And he's going to get a call from seat 1. He's got bottom pair here, Dave.
Yep.
Jack deuce. 7 comes on the turn.
Let's see what Jay does here. And Jay's going to check.
And look at seat 1 checks right behind him.
Didn't take advantage of it there.
And now what?
And now Jay's probably going to bet it.
15.
Ace comes on the river.
Straddle.
And look at this. He called with Jack deuce.
And what a value
Jay's
bet.
going to take it down. Wow.
Nice value
Wow.
bet by Jay. Once again, we have a free roll. Once again, free roll for our Play for Free players, April 24th. $2,500 prize pool and a laptop to first place. All you need is 10 tournament points to enter. You can register online at www.thebike.com. And a laptop for first place? I've got to find out if I'm eligible. This is great. Seat 9 there, Eugene's a pretty tight player. I only see him playing when he's got ace-jack or ace-queen or something pretty big.
We get 15.
Now, he's raising from the small blind $10 more here, Dave.
With 8-7 suited.
He's got 8-7 suited.
He loves to raise in the small blind. It's my least favorite place to raise, but hey.
Yeah, well, you're in the worst position, right?
Ace pops up there. Let's have a couple of aces there.
There's one.
Three-way action.
And this is another ace flops, and let's see if he fires at it.
What a huge draw with queen 10 of clubs.
25.
And we had a couple clubs out there. It's interesting there. Seat 4's got queen 10,
Right.
and seat
8 is led here with
seat
his...
8. That's Patrick again.
He's got the nut flush draw.
Heads up.
So we're going to see a bet of 25 and a smooth call by seat 4 of 25.
Yeah, the queen 10 is actually in trouble because his flush draw, his straight flush draw, is blocked by the king of clubs.
40.
The king 8 is going to bet 40 here. And it's going to get called. This is going to be interesting to see if everything misses how it's going to be played out in the river, Dave. Oh, and there's the club. So we're looking at nut flush against second nut.
Now the ace is actually going to save him a little bit of money.
So it's 100, and he calls 100. And the king high makes it. Wow.
And the ace of the turn actually saved him money because Daniel was a little scared of possible full house.
Well, you can definitely be beat by a hand that's not a flush.
Right.
Yeah.
I assume Daniel probably would have raised
No matter what, I was going to go.
had a board not paired. He had second nut flush, right? I mean, there's an ace of clubs out there.
You know, and if you did raise and you got put back all in, it's almost, you don't see, even the best professional players lay that hand down normally.
No,
It's just
exactly. No.
the hand that you're not going to be able to get away from.
Queen high flushes. That's a,
right.
well,
With an
especially
ace out there.
With the ace out there, that's
Yeah.
a big, big hand.
Yeah.
Did I give you?
Yes, thank you.
Why you didn't call?
Me? I needed the king too.
All I had was an ace with a bad card. I would have lost.
Hey, before I just wanted to remind everybody, I had said if you have any questions, you can give us a call. Our number here is 562-806-4646.
King Jack 4. Jay's got top pair here. King 5.
And he's going to bet it. I like his play. I mean, in that sense, he just bets it. He's a little more aggressive than most of the table is. Maybe that's why I like his play.
Put a club on the turn, I'm going to go all in.
But he definitely seems a little looser tonight than normal, I would say.
I'm going to show one of my hands.
And he shows the king.
I'm not going to show the deuce. I have a four.
I've been have more and more people ask me if I'm getting new to No Limit, what's the best advice, even specifically in a 100 game. And I can tell you right off the bat, it's really about getting back to basics and tightening up pre-flop. I mean, we're seeing people come in here with limps with king 5 offsuit, jack deuce suited.
Yeah. I'm actually a proponent to seeing a lot of flops and no limit, to be honest.
Well, I understand where you're coming from, but only with certain types of hands, though, Dave. Right? You're normally not going to see. You're not going to limp in with a jack deuce offsuit from middle position and no limit.
Not generally, right? I like to see a lot of flops from late position, and early position. I don't want to see a lot of flops. I will say that.
C2 is just he's in the big blind. He has got ace queen suited, and he checked it. Now he's got 2 pairs,
top and bottom here. A couple of hearts out there. Not a very good flop in pocket 8s, huh?
And he checked it, and C5 has bet his ace. So let's see what happens here. And he just smooth calls. There could be a lot of scary cards here on the turn. And that's one of them right there. There's the jack.
And that's going to shut down any action he would have got. This is interesting here. They both check it here.
It's ace queen against ace 4 in seat 5. Seat 5 has ace 4.
And this really...
And now he's going to bet $40 here.
Wow, and he's getting a call from ace 4.
Paid off.
Nice value bet there in the end.
I think it was one of those things where ace 5 was probably just hoping to chop the pot there at the end. Yeah.
Hoping they both have a pair of aces with king, queen, jack.
Yep.
And nice value bet there by Song.
Just think that sometimes people get so caught up in winning that big hand that they just try to over slow play these hands because they want to go all in and win everyone's chips in one time, and they're missing bets.
Right.
And they miss action because cards come that kill all the action.
And most people will tell you the key to no limit cash games is not winning those big pots.
Right.
It's really avoiding the big pots and winning a lot of small pots. Picking up those small pots here and there.
Well, now we got seat 9, who is
Eugene.
He's got pocket queens. We haven't seen him play that much.
He's real tight. I mean, if he raises on the button, if he raises at all, he's got something.
C5's got ace 4 suited, so it's pocket queens against ace 4 suited.
And that's not a good flop for ace 4 clubs.
No, it's not.
And it is a very good flop for pocket queens.
Well, he's only going to bet half the pot here, Dave. It's about a $35 pot.
Almost asking for a call. Wow.
And ace 4 mucks.
Thank you.
Yeah, I just want to say hi to our fellow forum followers, 2+2 and Internet Texas Hold'em, RGP, and Full Contact Poker.
And I did mention that last week.
Yeah?
There are a couple other threads going on there besides 2+2. Got a little flack for mentioning it, though, from 2+2.
Oh. They must feel like you cheated on them, huh?
Yep.
You slut, you. And look at that. Greg's actually picked up an open-ended straight draw here.
Flop is queen 5 king.
It's a rainbow flop. That's a nice flop for jack 10.
And C2 is check called here with second pair.
Now, interesting, is that seat 2 or seat 3?
You know, it is C3. C3's got deuce 5. I'm sorry.
Thank you.
C3 is called with deuce 5.
And now jack 10 does it. It's not his open-ended straight draw, but the jack is going to do it as well.
River was an ace.
Thank you.
There we go.
Big blind.
Big advertisement for Stars and Stripes on the back of this issue's Card Player magazine.
Yeah, I did notice that. Stewie Younger on the front of it, and the bike on the back. I actually picked up my copy.
The fictional Stu Younger, right, on the front of it, right? No?
No,
I didn't take a good look at the front of it.
Real picture. Obviously not live picture.
Bet 20.
Let's see,
And,
4 bets with 7-8 of hearts, and he takes it down.
Well, he's tight enough. He's tight enough that he can bet once in a while and take a pot down like that.
Gut shot straight draw.
And not that I want to delude myself into thinking that anybody listening actually cares about my poker exploits, but since I did let everybody know that I was going to go to Bellagio to play in one of the tournaments, I'll go let them know I played in Mondays, $2,000 entry, played for about 9.5 hours, and got knocked out with about 50 people left. Unfortunately, couldn't get anything really going for it.
How many people entered?
316.
Well, those, of course, are the worst times, you know, when you sit through all those hours and hours of concentrating and focusing and end up kind of on the bubble, right?
Yeah, well, I was a good hour and I was a good hour and a half away from the bubble, but obviously disappointed in the finish. Let me get a 9-3-2 flop.
4-way action, I believe.
And C3 there. Jose's picked up top pair.
He's going to bet 25 from the button.
This is just another one of those easy ones where they bet if they've got it, and they don't if they don't.
And he's going to take the pot down.
But it was an excellent tournament. It's a good experience. Got to play with John Juanda at my table. And a couple other big names. And interesting. Good learning experience for me, I would say that.
Oh, John Juanda was at your table?
He was.
Yeah. How did he end up doing?
He got knocked out actually a little before me. Did not make the money as well. He couldn't get things going. Kept going up to about 10,000 chips and then back down and never really break through.
Did you find that people played him a little bit differently because he's such a well-known tournament player?
I'll get to that in a second.
Okay.
I think, we got a limp there, limp.
Raise.
And a raise in the small blind.
He's got ace-jack offsuit. He's going to raise to $20.
Now, at this table, it's not a terrible play because it's such a passive table, but I hate ace-jack is a real tough hand to play out of position.
Well, seat 7, he's got seat 7 dominated. He's got king-jack. Seat 1's called 5-6 offsuited. And seat 3's got ace-5.
And now we got about $100 pot here.
Now, the only problem is it's going to be not that great of a chance of
Oh,
an ace
look
or a
at
jack
that flop.
flopping.
A couple of queens.
Yeah.
Nobody's hit it.
Seat 1 has the best hand.
See, now this is one of those cases. If he's gonna, I like the bet. If he's gonna raise in the small blind, which I'm not a big advocate for, but if he's going to, at least he fires the pot, sees where he's at, and he very well might take it down right here.
Can we get a setup?
Brennan has the best hand, and he's gonna call with the 6.
Well, the funny thing about this is he's going to call with the 6, and I don't know if he knows this much to do this, but he can definitely represent a queen by smooth calling here. And if it gets checked to him, bet definitely. Definitely bet on the turn.
Well, now he's got 2 pair. He's actually got 3 pair. The 5 is not even going to play, though.
So, and look, he checks behind on the turn. That's a great spot to bet there, Dave.
Yeah.
Like I said, a smooth call represents a huge
And at this
raise.
point, you might as well just check it.
And he's just going to show it down.
And that's one of those things, if you're actually going to call a raise with 5-6,
yeah,
the whole point of it is to get some implied odds. And he pumps his fist.
Well, I think that you can almost make that play from seat 1 with any 2 cards if you don't have a pair, calling with the intention of betting if it's checked to you on the turn.
Oh, exactly.
Right?
That. And we had a question from Rich in New York. He wanted to know if the live game is always the same or if we switch it up. And we actually switch it up pretty much every night. We're live at the bike here Wednesday through Saturday, 6 to 10 p.m. And depending on the night, you'll see either limit hold'em, no limit hold'em. We even had a Badoogie on this game, so.
Yep, we had a big mix game last week.
You just got to check the archives and check for our schedule.
Check the schedule, which is on the website. Tomorrow we traditionally do our big $500 no limit game. That's what we'll be doing tomorrow with 5 and 10 blinds.
Right.
We've seen some of our best shows have come out of that game.
Right. No ace there.
C3's got the best hand with a king.
Patrick's picked up a gut shot, straight draw there.
It gets checked around on the flop. Jack 10 now has 3rd pair with a gut shot. C2. Looks like he might fire here. Is he going to fire? No?
Heads up.
Oh,
we had a bet out of Don there.
Yeah, he
7.
bet. Don bet seat 7. Seat 3 call. River's an 8. Now the queen is checked. The king is checked again, and seat 7 is going to continue to lead with his queen, and he's going to call.
And Don said, "I don't have anything."
So it's a good call by the king. He's going to take the pot down.
And maybe that's why we see a passive table, nobody bluffing, because everybody's calling anyway.
Well,
can't bluff them. One thing I will say, when I was playing with John Juanda, it was, I think because the buy-in was $2,000,
yeah,
as opposed to a smaller buy-in, most of the players at the table were well-seasoned in the tournament.
Well-seasoned tournament players,
and,
right?
And not really giving John Juanda any
special treatment. Or
no, not really. I didn't notice anything.
Make it 15.
And see, this is odd. He doesn't raise with ace king on the button, but with pocket fours, that's when he's going to raise.
Yeah, raise to 15, right? With some limpers in front of him, too.
Right, I just thought... Well, let's see what happens. Maybe he can represent here. And he's not in position here. He's got two players behind him. He's right in the middle, actually, with five players.
Five-way action here.
$75 pot. And there's an ace.
King, ace.
Not a very good flop in pocket fours.
Seat 8 actually has the best hand with ace, deuce here.
I like you, but I don't trust
This is the problem with ace deuce. When you hit your ace here with a deuce kicker, what do you do now?
Gets checked around. That answers your question. Now a queen comes on the turn. Seat 1's got a pair of queens.
And the ace is still not bad.
There's only one way to find out.
Extremely passive, huh?
And Jay...
Well, Jay's just got bottom pair here. He's got a 7, and he checks it again.
And wow, everybody's going to leave him in there.
Well, seat 7's got a flush draw now with a pair.
Didn't get
from the button.
Oh, yeah, he did get there.
He did get there.
Wow.
He got there.
And now the ace deuce bets.
And now the ace deuce bets when the third heart comes on the river.
Well, he's on a flush draw. One more heart comes, the ace has got a flush, huh?
So he hasn't bet the entire time. A heart comes completing someone else's hand, and he bets here on the river $20. Now, seat 1's thinking about calling. He's got a queen 8. And he's going to call.
Oh.
So let's see how much seat 7 jacks it up here. I assume Jay's going to muck. And he just called.
There is this.
Oh, you let him
get a flush.
Seat 7 just called there on the end, Dave.
7, but not with a heart.
Wow.
Somebody bets empty.
Huh. One would think that someone might want to put some sort of value raise in there, right, Dave?
Yeah, I would have thought that, but maybe he was scared of a bigger flush,
a higher flush.
Yeah, I suppose he must have been. There was no full house.
Someone came out betting with the third heart on board on the end there, so.
I just betting with the ace there is one of those cases to value bet at the end. At that point, there was no point in betting it because he was only going to get called. Well, actually, I was wrong. He would have gotten called by an
called
eight.
by a queen.
By a queen, right? Yeah. Queen 8. But generally speaking, you're only going to get called by a better hand.
This has definitely been a whirlwind of a table so far tonight.
Oh, yeah. Crazy.
Seat 6 has got ace, queen, Jay. This is the best two cards we've seen him have so far.
20.
He's going to raise it to 20.
Oh, 20.
He's queen there.
Wait,
that was way too much.
That was, okay, I'm about to say.
C3 is going to give him action with a suited ace.
He's got good cards.
So in position, you got someone dominated. You would think that you're probably going to win the hand.
Yeah, probably. Jay will bet it, and that's what you have to do, especially heads up.
Look at this though. Ace 3 just check calls there. Interesting. Thought maybe he'd make a check raise, but he calls with ace 3.
And he's picked up a diamond draw.
Picked up a diamond draw. And Jay's got an open-ended straight draw here with his queen.
Now he's certainly going to get a call, I'm sure.
Well, now you wonder if the guy in C3 might put a big check raise in here.
Well, if he does, he might take it down.
And I think that's what he's going to do. Or is he just going to check call? Dave, I don't... Long-term check calling is not the greatest way of playing.
Not usually. Not if you want to win money.
And look at that. The diamond comes on the river, and he's made a straight.
And he checks it.
No, I don't know if he checked it yet.
Oh, I thought he was banging his chips.
Oh. Now he bets 200.
I will say, you got to be careful about banging your chips
yeah,
like that.
No.
Somebody could definitely construe that as a check.
Absolutely.
I mean, if I was Jay, I would have actually called the floorman and made him that. Would have been a check.
I did 200 with your hand too, right?
Wow.
And it's an easy laydown for Jay. He had ace queen high, nothing else.
Well, the funny thing is, if a queen had come, or excuse me, if a card had come to complete Jay's straight there, and it was a diamond, if you're Jay, you can't look at the guy. Oh, he's calling you with a backdoor diamond draw, which is what he was doing.
Clearly not.
And it would have been crazy there on the end, right?
Yeah, without a doubt.
Yeah.
And I'm not a big advocate.
Especially if it had been a king there, Dave, because he would have made the nut straight.
Right.
Yeah.
And I know obviously you're not a big advocate of checking and calling. And in that case, it worked out okay for Jose, but.
Well, he didn't get any action on the river there either, though, right?
No, he didn't get any.
He didn't get.
Right.
Yeah.
And if he had check raised the turn, he probably would have taken
it down, right?
Without having to even get the diamond.
Of course, we can see the card, so obviously it's easier for us to say, but.
Right.
7, deuce, 3, 2 clubs.
15.
I always keep saying I need this when I'm playing poker.
Well, seat 1's about $15. It's got queen 10. Look at this. Seat 9 is called with a couple of overcards. Maybe calling with the intention of trying to bluff here.
Yeah, well, I don't mind. It's not a terrible call with 2 overcards because now what happens? You say?
Well, it checks, but he checks behind him though, Dave.
Yeah.
And now a jack comes, and that's going to give him the flush with the queen. And he just checks on the end. Check, check. He's made the queen high flush, and he just checks it on the end. Wow. You got to think, is someone capable from up front of checking the king? That's all you're afraid of, right, Dave? The king?
Pretty much, yeah.
I mean, he wouldn't check the ace. That's saying that he probably wouldn't check the ace of clubs.
Yeah.
So the only thing you can be really beat by is the king.
Yeah, and the way Brennan is showing that he pays off with, like he paid off a pair of deuces once,
Right.
pays off with a pair of queens.
Right.
He's definitely the kind of guy you want to value bet. I got a chip count now brought to us tonight by Joker Gaming, 9 p.m. here. Seat 1, Brennan there. He's got $700 in chips. Seat 2 is Song still with $600 in chips. Seat 3 is Jose with $400 in chips. It looks like about $500 actually. He did win that pot from Jay, got diamonds. Seat 4 is Daniel with $500 in chips. Seat 5 is Greg, Carson Palmer jersey there. He's got $1,000 in chips. There's Jay in seat 6 with $350 in chips. And get back to it in a second.
Now the flop is 3, jack, 8, 2 spades.
21.
Well, seat 1's picked up a flush draw, and he's checked it from the button, Dave. He's taken a free card. And now he's going to bet.
20.
It's really interesting because would he check top pair there, and now a jack comes on the turn.
Right.
Well, no one's got anything
He
to
might
call
have checked. There's a chance in this game, though. He could have checked an 8, though.
Yeah.
And if nobody else is a jack, the 8 would be good, theoretically. Continuing there, seat 7, that's Don with $800 in chips. And there he is. And seat 8 is Patrick still. And he's got about $450 in chips. And seat 9 is Eugene there with $425 in chips. Now, Eugene's game, we've seen Eugene's game, just to talk about him in particular. He's a very tight player. He's solid in the sense that he knows his pre-flop hand selection, and he has that down. But he can definitely be a little more aggressive and take advantage of some better hand, of value betting to make a little bit more money.
We got to have something on there. 10.
We're going to raise it to 10.
Little spice on that.
Well, seat 1's got ace queen. Seat 7 has raised here. He's got pocket 3s. He's going to raise to $10. And actually, seat 4's got pocket jacks here, Dave.
Okay,
He's
we're
in the
gonna make
blind.
it 20 then.
And look at this, a raise and a re-raise. Let's see what seat 4 does here with jacks. We got a call from the button.
I can't win this.
He's just going to call.
Really? Just call that. Well, Jack's, well, he's in a big blind.
Seat 2's got pocket deuces, so.
Yeah, he's in bad position. You want to see it flop for cheap and see if he can win a big pot. Maybe he can.
Seat 3 is not in the hand.
We got a king 5-3 there. Jay's actually got the best hand now. Oh, I'm sorry. Is seat 7 in the hand?
Yeah, seat 7 is the hand. He's
got
flopped a set.
It's like 50.
Flopped a set.
There we go.
And he checked it, though. And seat 1 is bet with ace queen. So seat 7 has checked his set.
And it's easy muck for seat 2, and jacks are going to muck.
Now let's see how pocket 3's plays here.
I just call him.
And he's just going to call.
Just call.
Well,
I believe he's taking me for a ride.
so he's definitely slow playing the 3s. Turn is an 8, and I believe ace queen is... Turn is an 8 of diamonds, and I believe ace queen is drawing dead. River is a 9. So seat 7 checked again on the turn there, Dave.
And the problem sometimes with slow playing a hand so much is now if he bets big, the pot's so small it's not worth defending, even if the guy had a king.
50.
Well, you wouldn't think that you could call here with ace high.
No, I wouldn't imagine so. Although we've seen Brennan call with very strange hands, so you never know. And he doesn't call.
He's a hard guy.
I mean, my theory behind he's going to show his set of threes, so everyone knows that he slow played the threes. And my theory behind that too, Davis, is that you've got to raise. I raised, and then you've got a re-raiser, and a king comes. I'm going to take the chance that someone has a king, especially that guy, and I'm going to bet right into that flop and possibly take all his chips. You know, instead the guy slow played and made almost no money. I mean, he made one bet on the flop. You know, and it's just that risk that I'd like to take. You know,
the problem also with slow playing a hand like that is, let's say a guy has king jack or something.
Right.
On the river, if you're going to bet big, the pot is so small that I'm looking at my king or my king jack or something. I'm going, take it.
Jay's got pocket aces here in seat 6, and he's going to raise.
20.
He's under the gun.
Now that's a hand you can raise pretty much in any position if you'd like to.
And Eugene's got pocket 3, so he's got a... Oh, he mucks it. I was going to say, he's got pocket 3s. He probably has odds to call with his pocket pair.
Yeah, that's where he doesn't take advantage there. I definitely like a call.
That's definitely a callable hand with pocket 3s.
Now, in tournaments, sometimes you can't call that because you can't, those chips are so precious. But in this game, where you can always reach back into your pocket, those are where you win the big ones.
Let's see if a 3 comes on the flop here. No.
That is a scary, scary board with pocket aces.
Oh, wow. And there is a jack 10 in there.
And a 10 deuce.
I don't like that flop.
No.
And he says it, I don't like that flop.
How do you play this hand with all these people in from early position with aces?
Well, you want to try to keep this pot as small as you can. See where people are at. You're going to bet it, obviously, see where you're at. Or you're just going to move in. Force everybody to see, you know?
Well, yeah.
You got one or two ways to make it. Ways to play it. Blah, blah.
Well, Jack 10's got second pair with an open end. 10-2's got an open end.
25.
And he's going to bet 25. What do you think about that, underbetting the pot like that? You mean we just giving anybody odds to call with gut shots?
Well, we want to see if somebody has, somebody has a queen jack or something. He gets a couple of calls here. Both 10s call.
Couple of calls.
Whatever happens, you deserve.
So the pot's about $140 right now.
It already happened. Trust me.
Now with a blank out there, this might be the time to move there. Since you got two just smooth calls. Yeah, see, I like the play. I like that play. He kept the pot relatively small, and now he's getting an incorrect call.
Incorrect call by Jack 10.
Right. On the flop,
unless he thinks his Jack is good.
Okay, we are heads up.
The river.
Oh.
River's a 9, and that might actually make Jack 10 possibly pay him off. Jay bets.
Hope you didn't call me with a 9.
Jay doesn't look like he has that much money.
No, the 9. Jay's got to like the 9 actually, because the guy had queen jack. The 9's a good card.
$350 pot ish, and it looks like he's betting $80. So you would think he's probably going to call for a $350 pot.
Yeah, he might.
Well, now the pot's $430 with that bet.
Yeah.
All right.
And he does call.
Asses.
And I like the play by Jay there. See, by betting small on the flop and seeing what came out in the turn, he can still get away from it. He doesn't, obviously, he knows the texture of the flop. He doesn't want to see a king. He doesn't want to see a 10. He doesn't want to see an 8. You don't want to see one card straights out there. And if you move big on the flop, Jack 10 is almost going, well, I've got 2 cards to catch my straight draw. But now he sees the garbage 5 come out there, and now he really moves. And he makes the $100 call on the turn really incorrect.
The other big blind.
I like how he played that.
Well, I got to disagree with you a little bit. I think it was a little bit of an underbet on the flop. It just, the size of the pot dictated. I mean, he wasn't even betting about 1 to 4 into that pot. The pot was about $80. So
right. Well,
you bet that and you got 2 smooth callers. What exactly do you learn?
Well, I think you get a lot of information about that. I think that's what the bet was for. It was a $25 informational bet, and that's why I liked it, because you could be beat already. Somebody could easily have, queen jack.
Well, 4-way action here. Ace 10-6 on the flop. Jay's going to lead with his ace. He's got ace 7 of hearts.
I can't steal with my man to the right of me.
Ace 10-6.
3 players.
There we go, ace 10-6-3 now. Yep. Jay's still got top pair there. Nobody else with much of anything.
Well, seat 7's calling with second pair here.
Yeah, he's got second button.
And seat 5 is also called here with 10. And there's a queen.
I check.
And now Jay's going to check.
Yeah, I'm not checking. I'm checking. I'm checking.
And Jay's checking there. I don't think he likes his kicker, but he's going to take it down. Nobody's
take it
bluffing.
down.
I was trying to get it straight on.
In seat 5, I don't know, with a couple of with a caller in between yourself and Jay, I don't know if I'm in there with 10-5, Dave, all the way, you know.
Probably not.
Yeah.
Probably not.
Thank you,
And just getting back to that other hand where the flop's a queen, jack, 9, and I have aces, especially in an early position and that many callers. One of my thinkings is when I have aces is I don't want to put money in the pot if somebody just flopped a monster. And there's a good chance with a flop like that, with queen, jack, 9, you've got 3 cards in the playing zone. There's a good chance somebody might have 2 pair already. If not, somebody's got a monster draw. And what I'd really want to do is, sometimes I'll even throw a $5 bet in there. Now, in that case, obviously, a $5 bet wouldn't have got any information. But a $25 bet gets you some information. That's the only reason I like it.
So if you take a lot of heat and you're raised, you probably muck the hand?
Exactly. If you get, if you get 2 callers and then a raise to 150, well, then I can get away from the aces. Because aces are just 1 pair at the end of it all.
Want to set up? All right, let's do it.
I mean, somebody could have had somebody could have king 10 there, flop it straight, and you're drawing dead pretty much.
It's 30. 30's the bet, Don.
Seat 1's raised to 30. He's got ace jack suited.
Okay.
Seat 7's going to call with jack 9 offsuit, so he's dominating.
Badly dominated here.
And he's out of position.
Check in the dark.
And he checks in the dark. Well, ace is flop top pair.
Gotta know who to ask.
This should be a pretty easy bet.
About a
and
$50
fold.
bet. It's about a $50 pot, excuse me. And I think he bets about $50.
$40 bet, yeah.
And he's going to take it down.
And one thing I've noticed, I used to think that I had to bet the pot to get what I wanted to get. But one thing I've actually been doing more in my own no-limit play is doing small bets in the flop with what I think are relatively marginal hands sometimes to get some information about what other people have. And obviously some people can say pocket aces, that's not marginal. And obviously before the flop it's not marginal. But with the board of queen, jack, 9, it could be.
Well, what I was talking about earlier when people say what are some of the first things that, you can say to someone just starting off in no limit. When I say tightening out pre-flop selection and you're taking advantage and noticing your position, that's what I'm talking about. An example of that hand right there. Calling a $25, $30 raise out of the small blind with jack 9 offsuit is normally not going to be a good play.
Exactly. Without a doubt. I agree with you. I mean, if you really want to, if you're starting out, you want to play premium hands,
right?
And you want to play in position, because playing less than premium hands out of position is an easy way to get yourself broke. Don't forget about the archives, guys. We've got just for $14.95. You can have access to all the past shows, all the future shows. Check them out whenever you want to. You get a free Howard letter or DVD. Actually, access to it on the site. All for just $14.95.
Well, Eugene's going to limp in here. He's got pocket 3s.
Okay.
Gun.
Seat 1's going to limp in there with a nice suited connector, 8-9 of hearts.
I got my 5, yeah.
Seat 2's got pocket deuces.
And look at this, Jay's
Okay, we got to narrow down.
come in with queen 7. If he was tight, if you saw him tight before, he's definitely not living up to that tonight.
No, not at all. But he's on the button, which is what he's playing.
Oh, look at this. King Jack has flopped a nut flush draw.
And seat 2
has got
a set.
And let's see what he does. He just smooth calls. Seat 8 has bet with top pair, ace jack.
A lot of people have some stuff here. We've got a
Seat
top
5
pair.
is called with top pair, ace 9.
3 players.
I guess seat 3 didn't play King Jack suited, or we didn't have it in there correctly, unfortunately. I'm sorry.
And we got a big raise out of a big bet out of ace jack.
Well, he's got ace jack. A jack comes on the turn.
Wow.
So he's got top 2 pair.
And this is the time where you can move. You don't want another spade to come out because that'll kill your action.
He just raises 100.
That's not a bad play.
King Jack was not in the hand, I apologize. King Jack of spades.
And ace 9 is going to muck it. Nice muck there.
Look at this. He calls. Ace Jack calls. And he checks blind, Dave. Sounds like he checked blind. The pot is well over $500.
And he's checking blind. Oh, my God. There's another deuce out there. 4 deuces.
Wow, he's got quads. Deuce, river is a deuce.
And that's not scary.
No.
Ace Jack.
Nope.
If anything, now you're going, okay, well, what is he? I'm only going to lose to really pocket 5s. You can't put somebody on quads.
Is he going to go all in here? Oh, he's just going to bet 100. Oh. Just 100. I think I probably would have pushed all in.
Oh, my God.
And he you know what? Song was really thinking, okay, how am I going to get called here? How am I going to get called here? But that board there, if a guy is going to call $80, he's going to call for $200.
Absolutely. Yeah.
You know, he either has the ace or he doesn't have the ace.
I think I might have pushed there even on the turn there, Dave, all in.
I would have agreed with you. Because like you said, if a spade comes out, it might kill your action.
So that's a nice little $700, $800 pot there.
Not bad. Not bad. Sometimes slow playing doesn't really... I mean, slow playing in there didn't get him any extra money.
Nope.
Are you going to take the blind, Pat?
I think what probably would have happened if you had raised on the flop, you probably would have got a call from ace-jack, just from the way that the guy has been playing. The jack comes on the turn there, Dave. I think you get all his money on the turn. He probably check raises you all in with ace-jack.
He probably checks. You bet 100, and he check raises you all in. And easy call.
Yeah.
25.
And Patrick's a little upset. He's throwing the cards.
Say $5.
Seat 7's raising to 25. He's got ace-10 offsuit.
You got a pizza in there for me?
It looks like he's going to take it down.
A blue. Let's take a blue one.
What is this? 50 cents.
50 cents.
Hey, remember, if you have any questions or comments, please email us at liveatthebike.com. We do read them, and we'd love to hear from you.
Thank you. Thank you, Don.
Too dirty for me. Give me a plain one.
You want a plain one? I got a new one.
No, man, no. That 50 cents is from 1957.
Yeah, from the grand opening.
That's our first chip. Did you see that?
Get up. It's in the face.
Tell you what, it's the only deal in the world. I made $1.50 on a no call in.
And that's Don talking there. Don's got a nice...
10 of hearts.
Well, as you can say,
Southern drawl.
C8 is not pleased. He's throwing his cards in again.
Yeah.
4-way action. It looks, 5-way action. Limped around.
How much to 10?
3, 7, 10. Sometimes it's tough to figure out what the best hand is. Look like seat 9's got it with king 10 though, Dave.
Yeah, he's got top pair there. Seat 4 there, Daniel's got a gut shot, straight draw, but he needs one of the fives.
He got checked around there. He checked king 10 from up front. Seat 9.
And now we got a bet from king jack, and he's given king jack the best hand. He's let king jack in there, and now Song's got him dominated here. You check and a check, and a king jack is going to win it.
So did seat 9 muck the king 10 with the turn bet?
I believe so. With a call, with an overcall, he mucked king 10.
When the river came, I don't know how he stayed in the seat.
Yeah. He's heavy. He's bottom heavy.
And that must have what the action happened there is that he checked top pair from up front, Dave. Mm-hmm. The jack came and he checked and folded.
Right, exactly.
Because he was in first position. That's seat 9. So that's very kind of almost weak tight play.
Yeah, well, that's how I would counterguard Eugene there.
Yeah.
You know, he's scared to bet his top pair, and then when an overcard comes, he checks it and folds it. And he was beaten, but if he had bet it on the flop, he probably would have taken it down.
Hey, in that last hand that you just had quads, how much was it raised before the flop? Nothing. All right, I'm not going to make that mistake. I'm not making that mistake.
Well, Jay's trying to represent that he's got a pair. He only has ace-jack, though.
Well, I think if you read into it, though, the deuces did beat ace-jack, so. And there you go. He didn't want to lose ace-jack. He didn't want to flop top 2 pair.
You're right. You were thinking about the other way around.
Right.
Yeah.
You still get 50 back. Give me 4 back.
Thank you very much.
What happened, man? Break? Still in?
Well, Song in C2 out of the small blind, I can see that he has ace-queen suited. That's going to be the best hand so far pre-flop. See how he plays it.
Spice it up a little bit.
I'm going to spice it up a little bit, and he's just going to call.
Yeah, he's just going to call.
Those are nice guys.
And seat 7 actually just raised to $10 there.
And he's in bad shape there. His hearts are shared, and he's got lower ones.
$50 pot. Well, that's a great flop for ace-queen. Let's see how he plays it. Is he going to bet right out?
And actually, seat 1 is flopped top and bottom pair, though.
He has. He's got queen,
Brennan's got top and bottom pair. See how he plays it here. He's on the button.
I hate my hand.
And wow, Jose.
Ace Queen has led with 45.
And Jose is calling with a queen also.
I'm going to try it, though.
He's got Queen 7. Huh.
Now, if you got Queen 4 here and there are diamonds out there, you got to push.
Absolutely, dude.
You got to move on this one.
And look at this. Jay's got a diamond draw.
Of course, that's why.
So let's see what seat 1 does here, Dave. We were hoping that he raises big, right?
Well, he's got 40. Oh, and it looks like he's just going to call.
Oh.
And top and bottom pair with 2 diamonds on the
Very,
board.
very vulnerable.
That's a scary board.
So that's already $180 street there. So the pot's $230. And there's the diamond, Dave. There's the diamond. And C3's got the queen of diamonds in his hand.
Yeah, he's got a redraw.
Now let's see what Song does here with ace queen. Song checks, C3 checks.
Well, you know, when you get called by 4 places and no diamond comes, you got to know your beat.
Well, Jay's got the made flush now. And let's see if C1's smart enough to get away from the hand with people behind him. He's going to bet $90.
And the pot's 180, so that's a nice bet. He's betting about half the pot there. He wants a call.
Pot's actually 230.
230, okay, there you go.
Yeah. And look at this. C1's going to call here, Dave, with 2
He's
pairs.
got a full house redraw. Very slim, obviously. There's only we see this case queen is out there. He's got 2 4s to draw to.
Pot is $410 now, 90 to call. And look at this. Queen 7 mucked his hand. So you're right. There is that redraw out there, but one of the queens is gone.
All the queens are gone.
All the queens are gone. Wow.
Oh, and look at that.
Queen would have won.
I got a 10 high.
Jay says he's got a 10 high.
Well, that shuts the action down, but it's still good.
And look at that nice little $500 pot. And again, you got to, like I said, when you're in position, as Dave and I have said time and time again, 2 pairs that aren't the top 2 pairs obviously are very vulnerable. You just smooth call the flop, and then the 3rd diamond comes, and then you just smooth call that too.
Well, you get a
people
$45 bet, and 2 callers ahead of you.
Yeah.
You know one of them is probably going to be on diamond draw.
Would you almost push all in at that point too? Especially if let's say you get 300 or 400 in front of you, the pot's already 250. You know.
You might, depending on how much money you have in front of you, obviously.
Yeah.
He doesn't look like he has much, and you might want it there.
You might want to, right?
Take the pot down. You know, if the diamonds call you, it's an incorrect call.
25.
I'm the only one who threw it. I guess I'm the only one tonight who threw $200 out there for a bluff. And got called.
Oh, you did?
3 players.
3-way action here.
Wow.
Look at that. The case king comes out.
What a fun flop, huh, Dave?
The case king comes out. And
King 10-6.
Well, seat 5 is in great shape here because the other players have both their kickers are shared.
Well, he bets 50. King 8 calls out of seat 8. And you would think the way that seat 1 played, you would probably call here too, right?
He might even move in. He might be statement from last hand.
It's a $73 bet, I believe.
You have a real hand?
70. Excuse me, it was 50. I'm sorry.
It doesn't? Okay.
I don't think it does.
You know what? When you get a bet, when the flop is King 10-6 and you get a bet and a call, you got to know your king with an 8 kicker is no good. And this is check call poker.
Okay, 3 players, 1's all in.
Oh, excuse me. The other guy did go all in with King 8
for
7-3. Yeah. Well, now a 7 comes, and that's going to give. And it gets checked and checked. Check here. Oh, and a 4th diamond. No one's got a diamond.
And that's going to shut the action down. But let's see if Brennan can bluff at it.
He's not. King Queen's going to take the entire thing down.
Pair kings. Kings a pair kings.
So it was a $50 bet on the flop, and then King 8 went all in.
For $23 more.
For 23, even more of a reason if you're sitting there with King 8 from behind, why you probably wouldn't want to call that, right, Dave?
Especially without a diamond or anything.
Yeah.
And no redraw. And he had King 8 of spades. There wasn't even a spade out there. He couldn't even redraw that. Hey, if you're wondering what game is next, visit thebike.com and you can see the schedule for the next Live at the Bike webcast.
Again, tomorrow night's game is going to be our big no-limit game. $500 minimum buy-in, unlimited maximum buy-in, 5 and 10 blinds. Very, very big game.
I need chips, please.
We saw tens of thousands of dollars shuffle around last week, easily.
And Patrick is buying back in here. I'm not sure exactly what he's buying for, but he's not happy. Throwing his cards all over the place.
Got 300 behind.
20.
What happened? 20.
Made it 20.
Total or more?
Total.
And looks like it's heads up here between seat 2 and seat 6. There we go.
And look at Jay's going to lay down king queen offsuit.
Well, you know, that's a good. I don't. Some people can look king queen, but he's out of position with a
No,
hand
I
that's easily dominated.
I love the laydown. It's just, you know, he's been playing really loose today.
Now, in a tournament, obviously, you can put people on plays and you want to make more moves. But in a live game, lines are 5-5. You know what? Not a big deal. King queen. I'm not going to, you know, get married to that hand.
Like you said, you only flop your pair, even if you're not dominated. Even if you're ahead, you only flop your pair. One out of 3 times, you're out of position. So once you don't flop it, now what? Because ace high is ahead of you, right? If rags flop,
right? Well, even if you're not ahead, you know, you're calling a bet, and then you're going to check, and you might be dominated. You might be up against ace queen or ace king.
Seat 4, he's going to race the 30. He's got ace jack offsuit. He's got seat 5 in big trouble with king jack offsuit. And that's the type of hand that I would quickly throw into the muck from the small blind.
And he does. Out of position, it's an easy hand to muck. And
Jay has got 8-10 suited.
That's not a bad hand here, 8-10 suited, because in a raised pot, you might get a monster. Might not. He's going to throw it away.
Now, C3's got pocket 7, so if he could make $280 to $300, he might have odds to call here.
Like I always say, you know, he might actually be ahead. And if it comes out rags, and this game has been pretty passive, he might not have to face a raised. I mean, a bet.
So it's pocket 7s against ace jack, and we know. Oh, excuse me. Seat 1 is also in the hand with ace 6 suited.
7s are a pretty big favorite here.
Yeah,
actually.
with 2 of the aces being shared. Well, that didn't hit anyone, but 7s can't know that, dude. And the button's going to bet here, $60.
And that's what you have to do, you know, if you're going to bet before.
And look at this, he's going to check raise all in with his 7s.
And this is an easy fold for Daniel. He's gonna.
Well,
this young man, when he's ready, he doesn't mince words.
Could possibly be check raising with diamonds here, Dave, or some sort of straight draw, but
yeah,
he's going to muck it.
With ace jack, it's pretty easy.
Runner again.
Especially since he had the ace diamonds.
Yeah.
That's what he was preventing.
Because you'd have to specifically put him on a hand like maybe queen 10, queen 9,
right.
Something like that, right?
Which is exactly,
right.
Which is really difficult.
Right.
Interesting play there.
Big blind up?
Yes, sir.
$20 under the gun there.
He's got pocket queens. Seat 8. Now, seat 7, he's got king 3 offsuit. He's going to call here, Dave.
Yeah, that's definitely an interesting play. He obviously
wants checking blind.
And this checking blind thing, I'm not a big fan of it.
Well, the ace comes and queens checks right behind him.
But when the guy checked blind, it almost. Yeah.
And they check again here
yep.
on the turn. 6 of hearts on the turn. River is an ace. Queens has got the best hand.
See if the.
Now he's going to bet it here at the end. Gets checked to him, and now he bets.
And Don's chewing on some cud there.
And he's showing him. He's showing him the queens. This is funny, Dave. In a no-limit game, you got a guy that do this. What happens if you go all in now? When the guy showed you your hand, you know,
it'd be interesting. I think Patrick is steaming a little bit. I think he calls him anyway.
You think he calls him anyway?
Probably.
Yeah.
Patrick's playing right now. He's steaming. He's a little upset about how that whole quad deuces turned out.
You know, it wouldn't be out of the realm of possibility to that guy have been checking a very, very weak ace all the way through there.
Of course.
I just think it's giving up a little bit too much information if you
just a little bit.
Show your hand before you get a chance to act.
Once in a while, I like to show my hand and cash it. If somebody bet a lot, I'll show my hand before I call it and see how I can react as they look at my hand.
All right. I got a raise.
He's got a raise, he says.
He's got pocket 8s.
He's got a raise.
30.
This is pretty much a pot builder. Let's see how it goes. See if anybody calls. And we get a call from seat 1. He's got a couple of diamonds.
6, 610, I believe. 610 of diamonds.
610 of diamonds.
Or $30.
And you got a king 4 offsuit calling. The king 4 is a...
Look at this, 610. He's got the best hand, and he checks it. He checks his top pair. King 4's got a piece of this.
Everyone's got a small piece here. And Jay, it's not a scary flop for Jay. He's got to think maybe my 8s are still good.
Now, is he going to check with the intention of raising all in here? He doesn't have that many chips left in seat 1. You wouldn't think he would just call, right, Dave?
And, wow. $45 bet, and
he calls. Oh, he's got some more purples there. I'm sorry.
Yeah, Brennan's actually going to call. And there you go, another check raise there from Jose.
With King 4. He's got the worst hand. $45 bet, $45 call, and a check raise to 100.
See, now the problem with that check raise there, the only problem with that is you've got a bet and then you've got a call, and you're doing it. You have to bluff out 2 players here.
Right.
And you might get the first guy out, but the second guy is also short chipped.
Right. A good play heads up, but not necessarily.
Exactly.
And look at this. Jay's going to call pocket 8s with the call in behind him.
Yeah, see, that's another one you got to look at. I'm probably not beating both players here.
And he's going to call 100, so we're getting quite a pot here.
We've got about a $375 pot on this. See what the turn brings.
Okay, 3 players.
Turns at 9. 10-6. He's got a really powerful hand here with the diamond draw.
He's got...
And he checks it.
Great hand.
Wait.
Well, with all that action there, I mean, you might not think 10-6 is good.
And seat 3 checked. So seat 3 had check raised, and he checks now.
Yeah, well, he might...
I'll let him get there.
And look at this. Jay checks from behind.
Well, Jay's got an open in the straight draw there. Doesn't get there, and 10 is good, and he's going to bet it.
Now he's going to bet.
Wow. Yeah, Jay picked up an open in the straight draw on the turn there.
He did.
Which is why he wanted to give himself a free card.
Wow.
155.
Can you double this?
We already said the pot was about $500. And
No, about 300.
375. He's betting 155.
155.
Man. This is a ridiculous thought process. 55?
155.
155.
There was a lot of action on the flop there. I mean, what might you put somebody on here? You know, it's funny. I might have put somebody on 8-9 there. You know what I mean? With all that action.
Can I talk?
I'm trying to think of some hands somebody might have. There's no flush draw out there, so maybe somebody's got 8-9.
Thinking about calling.
Let's listen to Jay.
Okay. He called $100. You made it 100 on the flop, right? Check raise. He called. I know. I'm just talking. You don't have to answer me.
But Jay, consultant fee I charge. $20, I could give you some consultant.
But he's trying to replay the hand in his head. Now, what would a guy call $100 with on that flop?
Wow.
$5. I could.
You know, he can only beat a 7, really.
For some odd reason, I think you're bluffing.
He could have had 5-6, right?
5-6 is definitely a hand.
Yeah.
Can have. 8-9 is a hand. That obviously with the 9 would have beaten him. Would have got there with the 9s.
Right.
Could have had Jack 10, obviously. Really got to play it in your head and think of what he might have.
Wow.
Well, Jay's been in a couple of spots here tonight where the hands have been kind of played a little bit unorthodoxly.
Yeah.
And it's just,
to say the least.
Yeah.
And Jay's in a tough spot because he can't even re-raise the guy if he thinks he's, maybe he can get him off the hand because the guy's already all in.
I gotta lay this down.
He's going to lay it down, and he's made a couple of good laydowns.
He said, I think you're bluffing, but he laid it down. He made the right laydown.
And C1 doesn't show the hand. And Dave, that was the last hand tonight. That's going to do it for us tonight. Thank you, all of you, for joining us at Live at the Bike. Please join us tomorrow for a $500 max, $500 minimum buy-in, unlimited max buy-in, no limit game for Bart Hanson and David Tuck. Good night, everyone, from Live at the Bike.
I thought my 8s were okay against you, but...
It's here. It's big. And it's closer than you think. It's not a tournament. It's what you don't see on TV. The cash is real. The stakes are high. They bet big. They win big. They lose big. High stakes live action poker. Live at the Bike. Watch it live on the web or play it if you dare at the Bicycle Casino right here in Los Angeles.